to watch the recording, like, oh, I'll see Patmore's rolls to see if he was cheating me. No, the screen was blank.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, you can't use that as an honesty system anymore. But on the other end, now I don't have to worry about you guys just saying all the shit in my journal. So,
That's true.
It's fair.
Like, pros and cons.
because last session I had to do it a very long way around, which was opening sheets and then moving them to the second monitor.
Oh God.
Um,
No.
which adds a bit of buffer time.
This is
But-
fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
It was really funny to go through and figure out, okay, let me follow along with the rolls, because I saw some of those natural 20s and the natural ones. That was hilarious.
Let's just forget about all of my rolls last session.
How about, you know what? How about we
Nobody,
just forget that we rolled
please.
last session?
Yeah.
No
We didn't do any
one
rolls.
rolled well
All
consistently.
RP, that's what last session was.
Yeah, it was just RP, not a single roll. It was miraculous.
No, there was combat. Someone beat the shit
Not
out
a
of Carl.
single roll.
Yeah, someone
No
did beat
rolls
up Carl. I was
Or
chasing
Carl.
a very important villain down an alleyway. So
Very
I am so sorry, Kat, that you got basically one shot.
It is what it is. Like,
Okay.
I'm not sturdy and I don't have great armor, so these things are to be expected.
I will say, while the cat's right there, that did happen because of that. Based on the roll and the fucking damage, it didn't matter who popped their head around the corner. Any individual person in the party would have been down by that attack.
What? How much was it?
So it's a nut.
42?
It's a yeah. I'll scroll up. It was 48, I think.
I would have had it.
No. That is in
No,
fact
Yeah,
the same as the person who has the highest hit points in the party, Carl.
maybe.
But it is.
So
Can Selwyn do his duck and
Luckily,
weave
Chris
rogue
survived.
shit?
that's a
Double
level
desserts.
5 ability to half
He
it.
can't do your duck and
And
weave
even
rogue
with
shit yet.
halving it, Selwyn would still be fucked up.
I am. I did not listen to the last half hour because I just never got to it.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
But when
nothing
did Kat-
happened. Nothing happened. It was
I
fine.
can't. Oh, I cannot wait to listen to this now. Y'all have motivated me.
So I
No.
will say, it is interesting to have on in the background while you do stuff, because the theater of the mind works slightly better than when you're actively trying to do shit. But that might just be going from a GM perspective and I have to think about shit, than going from a hey, I don't have to worry about how shit works perspective.
You see my cat? I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, he's leaving.
Well, no, he was staring at something. Do we have rats? What's going on?
Well, murder's here.
It's just ghosts. Like, cats see ghosts.
Oh, they're growling. Somebody must be approaching my door. I'm not looking.
Guard cats.
Don't worry, if you
Yes.
get murdered, we will testify for you.
I live in Ackworth, Georgia. Please call 911.
Uh, Cat,
I gotcha. Don't worry. I
presumably
gotcha.
you're the closest, you're the first responder.
Okay. Yep. I definitely Massachusetts and Georgia.
They're like this.
You
Well,
got it.
They actually are getting better about that sort of thing because it happens a lot more. Like I was on voice with somebody across the country. Help them.
Yeah.
So, to get some momentum going, and because we don't need a summary because we all know where we're at, we'll just start.
Real quickly.
I'm on
Carl,
fire. Please put me out. I'm on fire.
Wait, what? Okay, again, I have not finished.
Okay,
Yeah.
so retracting my previous statement. Hey, Kat, could I have a summary?
Yeah. No. Let me.
Fucking firing on all cylinders. That's the word for it.
Where's my notebook?
Just like
Okay.
on the ball. Us.
We're on a ball, just not our ball.
Yeah. So after we had just split into, not just, like, the last basic thing was we had split into the groups. Angel and I were going, got taken out. Mark and Fergus broke into someone's house. Carl and Selwyn went to go see the shop. Selwyn chased a raccoon. The next morning, yeah, someone beat up Carl. The next morning, we found the shoemaker. His name's, I did not write down his name, but it's probably Dave. I'm willing to put actual money on it being Dave. But
The insulted look on Patmore's face is
David.
great.
Since Dave was the one being killed, we're like, aha, you must have secret things in your home. So we go to Dave's home and find a safe, and Selwyn ends up tripping, doesn't disarm a trap, ends up picking a lock. The trap goes off and shoots him cannon style out of the building onto the pavement, and the rest of us are standing there as Dave walks up to see his store blown up. And I think that was where we left off, or did we do the dwarven thing before we left?
The
Did it come
dwarven
after?
thing was...
Dwarven thing happened before.
Yeah, that was before Carl got beat up, because that was the book that you guys found in an earlier place, and you guys had the stew at the dwarven place, left, Carl got beat up, spent the night, came back,
Blew up a store.
yeah, you
Shoe
know,
store.
because who needs a cobbler in a medieval society anyway?
The cobbler's
Yeah.
fucking dead, Pat Mark.
He's not dead.
He will
Yet.
be.
Yeah.
No, that's a promise. He will be.
Well, at least he's turning his attention to someone other than Fergus.
No, I can multitask.
Like,
Trust
somebody
me.
make
He's
a move,
multitasking.
man.
He's multitasking
It's like watching
right now.
the most frustrating rom-com ever.
We're not even halfway through the first season. You give the like will they
Yeah.
won't they sometime.
Yeah, no, it's enemies to lovers. We're still establishing the enemies. We've got to let it simmer.
Okay, I got it. You're right.
It's all about that tension. But we did leave off with Selwyn having been blown straight out a window of a cobbler's store after tripping a trap, having blown up the third building in this town.
Sorry, I think there's only been 2 buildings blown up.
Oh, yeah, we didn't actually play
I
that
actually
one up.
succeeded on
I
one
need
of
to
them,
change my
so-
property damage totals. Pardon me.
I feel like the distinction in between 2 or 3 buildings in this exact context isn't very important. It's kind
No,
of
it
like
counts
saying
towards
that I
my
only
property
killed 2
damage
of your 3
totaling.
children, not all 3 of them. Either way,
It's important to me for my success rate, which is currently 33%. So
I would like you to know that my session notes have started off with "So Selwyn's on fire."
yeah.
Yeah, we do need to put out Selwyn.
I'm rolling around in the mud.
I will
On the street.
cast Control Flames. Or is that what that's fucking? thing is
Yeah,
called?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
you can put
probably.
them out.
Sorry, Dave. Is it Dave? I do need confirmation.
So you're
David.
saying that it might in
Focus.
fact not be Dave. There might be more than one name.
Yeah, no, it might not be Dave, but I just put the cobbler down in my notes. But Patmore, we've known each other for quite a while now. And
So
I'm just
I'll
gonna
have to
leave that
recheck
there.
my notes, but I believe his name was Angus.
Okay.
What a dumb fucking.
Pretty sure
name.
it was David.
I don't think
I
I
wrote it
believe
down.
you. I'm sorry.
Dave seems really familiar. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll write down Angus with a question mark.
An accident.
I can get the recording out and I can check.
Yeah, no, that's what
In
this
my
episode
mind,
is.
like,
one of 2
do
things
you
have
want
happened.
to?
Either I didn't name him, or his name was Angus.
I don't actually remember him being named because I didn't ask.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
fixate
guys
on this
are-
later, but
You guys are a
we-
group of rude motherfuckers who never ask anyone's names.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, we had a conversation about his name. His
Mhm.
name was something Taylor because he's a cobbler and he was the fuck up
Yeah.
of his family.
Yeah, because he went against. I remember that listening to this and going,
Yeah, no,
fucking Pat.
not Dave had a whole story. Trust. Oh no.
Not.
Okay. Okay. At the moment, we're going to call him Angus Taylor. We're going to move on.
Okay.
I'm gonna call him Dave.
I will update the wiki after the session once I look at the old video and I'll see where we're at.
Time well spent on this
Sounds
one,
good.
gang. Mystery
Anyway.
fucking solved.
You know, he's alive right now. He's not doing well upstairs as someone just destroyed his life work.
Yeah,
But
the
he has a
store.
secret fix, so we know he's up to
Allegedly,
something
he
shady.
did. You know, you could have just accidentally broke a main.
He could have broke a main. It could have just been the lockbox of the store.
Yeah.
With fucking TNT in it? Like,
Yeah.
The three
Cobblers.
houses we've been in have had the nitroglycerin explosion rigged safe. So
Yeah,
this is another
so-
explosion. I'm led to believe
So-
is party to something.
So I will
let's question him.
clarify. Nitroglycerin asterisk. It's an explosive gelatin that you guys have not spent any time identifying.
That's
Yeah.
It-
We've just kind of taken that at face value.
It
I'm-
could just
I'm
be
going-
home brand Atmosphere.
I will enhance ability if I have any level 2 spells, and I will try again because Patmore rolled for shit on me.
I am okay. So the problem you guys have now is you don't have any of it left because you set off
Oh.
the most
Yeah.
recent batch and then you threw the first batch.
We did.
Yeah. We just need
Wanted
to
to
wait until
keep the
someone else
first
tries to
batch.
kill someone.
I didn't know we threw the first batch.
Yeah,
Well,
there was
Was
no
it
real way.
marked?
It was
No.
this is concerning, let's get rid of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
because we didn't have anywhere to safely keep it because it wasn't. It explodes when you shake it. We certainly weren't going to put it in a pocket, so we just kind of blew it up and called it a day.
So,
But in hindsight, not a great investigative technique, but also less nitroglycerin in the world. Thumbs up.
nitroglycerin. Just
Yeah.
important clarification.
But explosive jelly, does that make you feel better?
A little bit. I just want to make sure you don't assume nitroglycerin's weaknesses are not shared by the
Yeah.
substance.
So we got rid of the boom jelly,
Thank you.
and
I like the boom.
Dangerous gelatin, yeah.
Yeah,
boom
no.
jelly.
the boom jelly's gone.
Yeah,
So we
thank
can't
you.
investigate it,
Forbidden pudding.
unfortunately.
So,
Hope you're fucking pleased with yourself
I
on
am.
this one.
I'm. It's a very important thing to avoid blindsiding you guys with the assumption that you guys are just you use nitroglycerin science here. But anyway, the store is destroyed. Someone is injured, and Angus is pretty much having a midlife crisis right now.
This is good. It'll turn him away from being a creepy person who gets murdered because they're a cult or something, and make him get a car or a convertible or something,
So
like
is
every normal
Angus,
person.
Angus kind of walked up after we blew his house up. I mean,
Oh, he watched it
felt
happen in
Yeah.
slow motion.
Yeah.
I turn around and I look at him. Are you going to explain what happened?
Looking at him, you see a single tear go down his face.
It's the
Carl's going to kneel beside someone right quick. Be like, "Hey, buddy, I got you a healing potion. Here, drink this."
oh,
not
thanks.
not looking at David in the eye since he just kind of moosed that off him.
Just gonna avoid that one.
I pocketed it. I'll get back up.
Okay, roll 2d4 plus 2. Cool, you hear... Okay, you heal
Right.
4.
What?
Turns
Rip.
out,
Good
in the
session
same...
start.
In the same way that, there are like different qualities of olive oil from the same batch, you kind of got the extra virgin healing potion.
It's just the dud.
It's kind of like the first thing off the top. You kind of want to get the stuff lower in the barrel because that's where all the chunks are.
No, the chunks are what does it.
Mm-hmm.
Seems about right for my first
What are the
rolls. 2
healing
ones.
chunks in universe?
Oh, it's clearly
What gets-
goodberry bits.
So this is really just a good berry smoothie.
Well, yeah, there's a lot more, shit in there. Like, for some reason, there's just, like, small bits of ginger in there. But it's like, this is a healing herb. We'll throw it in the healing
Mostly for
potion.
taste.
It's like, tastes a little bit like cinnamon. I wonder if that's why it's so expensive.
I mean, yeah, probably.
But,
No,
yeah.
I actually turn and look at the guy. Why do you have a trap in your house that did this?
He will say he has no idea what's happening as far as he knows. Your person just blew his house up in a failed suicide attempt.
No, no. There was a safe in there that I was trying to disarm. What do you know about it?
Like the one under the desk?
Was the one. The one I had was hidden in the wall, right? Not
Your
under the
one was
vents.
inside a fireplace.
Yeah. Well, the one I just blew up.
Yeah, you were playing with one in a fireplace and it blew up. Like, you don't know about
No.
one under a desk.
Dang it, I missed that one. I could have gotten so much money.
I will say, just as a side note, cobblers don't make a lot of money. It's not a very high-paying profession. It's a profession that earns money, but in very small increments.
Yeah, but if he's part of a secret society, he could have had some extra money in there.
Yeah, no, there's the cobbler money and the cult money.
Exactly.
Like, that's
Yeah.
true, but like you don't want the IRS on your back. You keep all that business stuff on the straight and narrow.
No, that's true. That's how they get
That's
you.
fair.
Yeah.
Or conversely, they get you in an alley with a group of assassins. Like, it really potato.
Or they, put a bomb inside your fireplace and try to kill you with it.
Yep. It's like, no. Mr. Taylor. Oh, I have an accent. Fuck.
You do. It's an American one.
Mr. Yeah, I do. Unfortunately. Mr. Taylor, there was a safe in your fireplace that had to do with, we think, why someone tried to do away with you. And any more bells ringing?
No?
I'm gonna insight him as we're doing this. I
you
think I
can
rolled
try.
him last time, but I can try.
Nix,
Good
you
start.
you see a very vulnerable man who just had his life's work destroyed in front of him, and
Thank
you
fuck.
think that
Thank fuck.
it looks like the party is just kind of pulling the squares on him, trying to find a reason to blame him. It has to be his fault, otherwise we're the bad guys. So when you're seeing 12 of them right now, you're just ejected out of a building.
Yeah, I would like to note that if for some reason I have a nat 20 insight from last session. I don't know what we were doing, but I think that was after the explosion.
I would have to look at the video. I don't remember what it was. I will
Yeah.
say the group
I vaguely remember
succeeds in a way because, Cat, it's either
okay,
you
that's
hate
it,
cobblers
yeah.
or, this guy's pretty sus. Or both. Like, why don't you just buy shoes? Why do you have to get them fixed?
Yeah, I mean, where I come from, cobbler's not really a thing anymore. It's more efficient. Anyway.
And
It's all kids in sweatshops. I'm sorry.
notoriously, cobblers are traditionally just spies, right? Because they just sit there and listen to people talk while they fix their shoes.
Obviously.
Like, okay. When you say sus, like, what do you mean? Like, what kind of body language is he giving off? Like, is he shifty-eyed? Like, what's happening?
Well, he's a little bit shifty-eyed, but there's a lot of like dust in the air. Um, you roll an insight check for a moment.
He did fucking last session. I got
Oh.
like an 18. That was back at the inn.
Oh,
Not
okay.
now.
Could you roll again for me, buddy?
Yeah, no, no, that's persuasion. Fuck.
Okay. You got 17 on the dice. What's the mod difference?
+1, so 21
Cool.
instead of 20.
You don't
Your persuasion
necessarily.
is +1?
No, my
His inside is one
4.
higher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a 1 high.
So you don't necessarily think that this guy is lying per se, but you're not trusting his story. So either
Would it-
this person himself is like a front man for other business being done here, or there is some level of
Mind-altering magic.
like potentially, or like sleeper agent sort of thing. It's a very murky field when you start looking into the idea of people like being fronts for themselves.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of the train of thought I was on anyway,
Yeah.
because the interrogation last session also led nowhere while he was being seemingly completely honest.
Like, I will say, if there is like a modified memory in place, you can determine that with detect magic. If it's more of like we'll call it a noir plot thread, like the idea of the sleeper agent who's been conditioned not to remember they're an age until they get a command word, that wouldn't come up with magic.
Would modify memory come up? Because wouldn't it have to be like recent? Because modify memory is like one and done. It's not a
It's an
lingering effect.
active condition because it can be dispelled with dispel magic.
Okay.
All right. Well, I
I
guess.
mean, I'll
Let
cast
me
it.
just
Yeah.
bring the spell in front of me, but I'm fairly sure modify memory is like a permanent effect until dispelled, so I think it's a detectable effect.
I can get the detect magic. I've got full spell slots still.
I mean, I get it for free once a day.
Oh, you do? That's so nifty.
Yeah, because I
Nifty
inherently
thing
don't
you've
trust
got.
people that manifest as magic.
No, that's fair. I don't know why we're friends, but that's fair.
Plot reasons.
Traveling compatriots is more like the operative term.
So
We went in the same direction, I think.
Yeah, and you haven't been able to get rid of me, so now we're friends.
That's how it works.
That's how it works, duh.
with modify memory, interesting thing to consider. It is technically a enchantment charm spell. So the way it works specifically is people are put under a quasi permanent charm effect that can be detected and dispelled.
I wasn't aware there was like a lingering thing that can be like dispelled, so that's on me.
It's a spell that gets thrown around a lot, but okay. I'm just going to show you why no one really knows what it is, and I'm just going to post its length in. Okay, cool. I can't even post its length in Discord because it's 50 characters longer than the limit. So that's why. Okay, so here's most of the spell. That's why no one remembers what it does. It's like Scry. Everyone vaguely knows what it does, but no one rereads the block text.
Yeah, all right.
Because it's not worth it.
Yeah, no,
Just won't use the spell.
So, it's an enchantment charm spell. Technically, there are just races it doesn't work on because it's technically a charm effect. But specifically, if they could be under a modified memory, but it does get into a very I guess arcane meta leaning into that because you have to get up certain spell levels to be able to like give like large chunks of like false memories to people. Anyway, so there are a few different ways that could be done if they are a sleeper agent So
no, I'm just saying, like at the moment, I'm just checking, like just detect magic, like the blunt force, brute forcing my way through it.
Okay. So
Anything coming up?
you cast a spell using your once per day use of it.
Once per day free use, yes.
Okay, so there's a few things that you're going to pick up here, and I just need to double check.
If you say my friends, after we've been
No,
having
no, no.
thoughtful, serious discussion.
In all seriousness, there is some overlap in that department, but it's not going to be effects that you're already aware of. I'm going to exempt things that you'd be like, no, that's just because Nyx is a druid or whatever.
Yeah, all right. Like I know my friends are magical. I'm just saying that's not what I'm looking for here.
So, the first thing you pick up on most of the people here are a divination effect.
Ooh, spicy.
Additionally, on Carl, you pick up a abjuration effect.
Now,
What?
just a quick question.
Yep.
Right? You run detect magic like slightly differently, or just in a way I've never seen it run before. Is this like traces of it, like they've been hit by this, or just an active effect?
When it comes to, we'll call it magic residue. Normally, if you have detect magic up, I let you do an investigation check in the same, like, kind of looking for like the traces of magic on people. This isn't that. This is just activating the spell. Everyone here has a divination effect on them. Specifically, Carl though has that and an abjuration.
Abjuration, yeah.
Yeah. So these are active spell effects currently.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Does anybody have see invisibility yet?
I don't know. Does anyone have see invisibility?
I doubt it. I think it's a level 3 spell.
I have a cat.
It's a level 2 spell. And Cat, if you'd like to bring your cat back, who can, I believe, see invisibility as a function, would you like to spend I want to say an hour ritually summoning your cat back? Because it's over an hour or 10 minutes. So I don't quite. I'll double check.
No, it's an hour.
So if you want, you can find a quiet place. Open like a little can of whiskers, do a bit of humming, and then people come out and hang out with you. But at the moment, he's in his little cat house in the sky.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if y'all want, I'll get started on that, but it's gonna be an hour.
I mean, Mark would first have to tell us this is happening, I guess.
Well, actually, so Mark, you're aware of this. Do you divulge this information?
No.
Well, there we go.
No, he just like body language wise, he just sort of like slouches a bit, like standing up, like he's just inherently more relaxed now. And it's like, all right, leave him in the dust to pick up what's left of his life. Let's go back to the bar. Pointing at Angus, asterisk.
Yep.
I have no problem with that. Perhaps put him in custody though, if only for his own protection, because someone did just try to murder him in the streets.
Is Fergus with us?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean he was the last time I checked.
Yeah, no, he still would be. Yeah.
He and Murder were bringing David. So, oh, okay.
Angus.
No, I think Murder's being a dick. Did he leave?
No.
Yeah, there we go.
Perhaps, Fergus, you could take him as a timing? Or are you coming with us?
Where exactly are you guys going?
The bar. To regroup.
It's 10 in the morning.
It's also the inn we're staying at.
Do you have another place we could go? It isn't filthy.
There's a park. I don't live here, okay? I don't really have a lantern I can lend you.
Oh, that's fair. I would rather do it any conversing in a room in the inn that we could secure. But
Right. We can do it at the station if you want safe place.
Apparently, whatever's going on here, the actual players in that game have no idea they're playing it. So,
What?
first of all, I'm watching you. Points at Fergus. Second of all, I don't trust the guard in this place anymore. Well,
To be
I
fair,
don't trust them more than I
I was going to
previously
say,
didn't trust
did you ever trust him?
No, they're bad at their job.
I
I'm going to
feel
put it
that you
out
don't
there.
understand how hard it is to be a policing force.
I'm also going to say, we are bad at our jobs too, so hot kettle.
No, we confirmed the existence of the serial killer.
The presence of dead people kind of already did that.
You know what I meant. You,
Is it my
I'm gonna strangle
as
you.
we walk, she's like pushing people. Let's walk as we talk. Is it only me that thinks it's odd that all three groups were attacked at the same time by creatures or people who
no.
seem to attack in similar ways to the killer? Or did I miss?
No, you're right. You're on the well.
So-
More or less. Like, Kara wasn't beaten up with psychic damage, and Kat didn't take psychic damage to the forehead. But like, they were all like stealthy weirdos. So in some ways, they were all
Yeah.
synonyms of each other.
All stealthy weirdos in the city at the same time, looking to do violence. One fell off a clock tower, which was quite funny, but then he shot me in the face, which was less funny.
Was that him or was that a buddy?
I can only assume it was him because we chased him down. But he walked it off, so he didn't. I mean, it was quite a loud splat. I'm still vaguely concerned about that, but he's probably fine.
That's
Well,
about
he
worse.
stuck the landing.
With his face, there was a lot of blood.
I will say, as you guys
Say
are walking
Alpha
past the
stuck it.
inn, you guys see like just a brown stain on the floor.
That's a lot of blood.
We should write down "has a lot of blood" as a description for the suspect.
Has substantially less blood than he started with recently.
Like, and while you say they stick the landing, like looking at the path, it's like you've kind of got like kind of dirt, like a dirt road in the middle, and you've kind of got like kind of like more hardened stuff on the sides. They didn't land in the dirt, like they hit the stone.
And this guy took you out.
I can't help it if I took an arrow to the face going around a corner. I'd like to see you do better, Mr. Smartman.
I did do better.
Hmm.
Yes, he's got a point.
A shockwave wizard attacked me, and I fought them off.
And where's your wizard?
Well, Fergus let them get away because he was too busy spouting his diary at them.
I feel like there's some context that you need to explain.
He's criticizing me because I, instead of immediately stabbing a stranger in the dark, I asked them to stand down so that they could be questioned.
If it weren't for me, our only lead would be dead right now.
To be fair to Fergus, and I know you don't like to hear this, Mark, he does have a job to do
That's debatable.
that he probably isn't going to get the 2,000 silver reward for. So, come on.
I'm actually
Well, if
exempt
it's
from being
based-
able to get the reward because technically it's my job anyway.
At this
Yeah,
point,
have
you
That
some
owe
sucks.
sympathy for him. He's doing this for free, basically.
At this
I mean,
point,
he
you
gets
owe
paid
the
a
state
wage.
money.
It's not a good wage.
Better than what I'm making.
I mean, if we succeed, we get 2,000 silver, and he gets
But if
nothing.
we don't, we get nothing.
Except shot in
But
the
just
face, yes.
embarrassing moments, yeah.
Well, it's
I
a
have a
little bit.
feeling we would be doing that without this whole mess anyway.
Oh no, we did kill a dragon, Drake.
We didn't kill it. It was not
You
a
guys
dragon.
killed a dragon?
No.
Yes.
Yes, right outside
yeah.
of town.
Nyx
That doesn't make
very
sense.
obviously
Great.
rolls her eyes.
Murder, with advantage, can I have a bullshit check?
Patmore. Mark doesn't know where raccoons exist.
Okay. I will let it be a persuasion check on the merit that you're insane.
Listen, there aren't any raccoons in Solus for some reason.
No, we killed them all, or something.
Like,
Yeah, they were against God.
he inherently doesn't disbelieve you, but he's thinking about it's like, this guy's a bit of a fucking weirdo. Like, when he says, like, dragon, he could legitimately just mean that they ran into a lizard.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Fergus.
You, like, Murder, no, unfortunately, he considers you an unreliable narrator.
Well, he sucks at his job, so I win.
Do you?
What do you technically think his job is?
Fucking finding the killer.
I think
What?
this is a passion project, not actually his
No, I
job.
think-
Hobby.
Like, strictly speaking,
that's what it does for
regardless
us.
of if he finds a target, he's still being paid. His job is to investigate crimes, not solve them.
All right, then his
Yeah.
job
Just like
is
real
as
cops.
useless as he is.
Just like real cops, yeah.
Like, the fact that he's
Alright,
out here in the fucking boonies trying to solve it means technically there should be overtime somewhere for him.
It means he has nothing better to do. His fucking stories aren't on anymore.
Well, you know, his like favorite like noir like comic strip is currently in hiatus because the writer was killed, or was he?
Dun, dun,
Have to
dun.
get back to that one too.
But okay. Do we take Not Dave with us?
Yeah, so
Are we
I guess the crossroads here is does Fergus split off with Dave and go to not Angus and go to the guard station, or does he take him to the bar with you guys and
Do you want to come
hang
with
out with the
us?
day drinkers?
I asked him if he wants to come with us.
Fergus or Angus? Because Angus wants to go to a bar, like he's just ready to give up today.
Both.
Fergus ideally wouldn't be having a meeting in a bar because it kind of ends the day, but
Well,
he's willing to slum it.
But we're not going to the bar. We're going to one of our rooms to discuss quietly.
Okay.
So begrudging.
Alcoholism is a big problem. People don't really trust the water here.
I wouldn't.
I can fix that.
Like, you can fix people's lack of trust in water.
No, I can fix the water.
Like all of it.
Hold on, where to go?
Anywho.
In a 5-foot radius.
I
Yeah. We're
I'm
not
not
sticking around, so
a
you can't be a
water-
water dispenser.
I'm not a water expert and an aquarologist, but I'm fairly sure that the main water comes in from a river that is slightly wider than 5 feet.
And I am not literally talking about all of the what? Never mind. I do not understand. She's like cursing in French as she walks away from this from
Oh, not so fun
Fergus.
when someone misinterprets what you say, huh?
You do it all the time to me anyway. You are not the one to talk.
He turns around, just gives you a fucking raspberry.
Oh lord, it's going to be a long day.
Okay, you guys arrive at the inn. You have the bartender asleep on the table.
We're just going straight up to one of our rooms,
Cool.
leaving Angus to his business.
Yeah, Angus is just he's gonna find himself a cup, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna give up today.
Try not to leave the building. We don't know if your throat's going to get slit when you walk outside. Thank you. Bye.
Can you
Is no one
roll an
keeping an eye on
intimidation
him,
check
or-
on him?
Sure, he's
Oh, no, that's purely just a recommendation. She doesn't care if he does or not.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so you guys go.
You can make it a persuasion, but I'm not being
Wait, are
intimidating.
we just leaving him? Or are we bringing him?
Oh, get him a drink and bring him upstairs with us.
Fine.
So, I will say the rooms here aren't awfully big, so we're gonna have a sardine situation, but you guys will all fit.
It's fine.
Whose room are we going into?
Mark's.
Murdo.
Apparently Mark's.
In explicit detail, could you describe how you leave the room?
So the bed is made, right?
Mhm.
Mark's bed. Everything else is on the floor.
Valid.
He gets out of bed, he makes the bed, his shit is all over the fucking floor.
So we're talking like, you've got your traveling backpack in the corner, just it's entirely empty, all of it's just spread out around it.
He has a system, he knows exactly where his things are. They're just on the floor.
But so kind of like no matter like where people are standing, they're standing on like a pair of pants or some socks or something.
Yeah, no, basically.
It's almost a question how he can fit so many spare sets of socks in his bag.
It's an art.
I just kick it aside as I walk in.
Hey, watch that. If I lose those socks, I'm coming after you.
Why do you have such a weird attachment to some things and then, no regard for sentient life?
You know how hard it would be to replace socks in a nowhere fucking boony town? Very.
You did not address the main part of the question, but alright. I
Carl,
go and sit on the bed.
just roll a luck check to see if they were yesterday's socks. Just
Oh,
roll
yeah.
roll a d20.
Okay.
Let's see if you pick the laundry pile.
Oh
So-
no.
It's a little bit moist.
Did you
Oops.
roll the GM or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
excellent.
when
Okay.
there is a slightly fragrant set of socks moving
Oh.
towards you.
I dodge it.
No, get away.
Okay,
Duck and
Carl,
weave,
roll a. Both of you roll a dexterity check.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's pretty good. Oh.
Shit.
This is clarifying nothing.
So, turns out the proficiency that we were always missing in Carl turns out to be in sock puppetry. As you dodge, it's chasing you.
Locked on target.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, like a homie.
Nick's-
My name's Paul. I'm your best friend.
No, please.
What are you two doing
Not
with
like
my
this.
socks?
Not like this. Oh my god.
Nyx is on the bed like this,
Can we please get to the matter at hand? Please stop, Carl.
He turns to Callista and goes, "Your friends are weird."
They're your friends too.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
the
right.
one
I'm sorry.
talking to them daily.
Yeah, that is something I meant to talk to you about. Please do try to interact with everyone more.
Why?
It's bad for you not to socialize.
I'm socializing right now.
You're
As
so
you-
poorly socialized. I'm poorly socialized and I'm better than you.
socialize as he's watching Carl with the sock puppet and someone like furiously
So
dodging.
to see
With
who
them,
wins in the
though.
end, could I have a tie-breaking roll?
Oh,
Carl,
God.
I will let you add proficiency in sock puppetry.
what?
Yes, with
This
them.
is rigged.
This is right.
+2.
Oh my fucking god. His base roll annihilated.
Damn
Look.
it.
I can't even
Selwyn,
with this.
like you turn to like essentially tell like ask everyone if we can get started. You pause slightly as you feel more stock on the side of your face,
Ugh.
Oh,
and it may occur to you these aren't yesterday's socks. These are the Viking battle socks.
Oh no, those have been drying
God.
out for days now and they're still not dry.
Jesus.
Not for any permanent condition, but for just for other stuff. Can I have a quick con save?
Do not yak. Do not
Swear
yak
to
right
God.
there.
Mark is just staring daggers at Cliff like with them. Socialize with okay.
Patmore, I've been
there's-
in a war. Do I
know.
really have to make this fucking check?
Well, I'll give you advantage. So the 15's enough. Like you've been to
Okay.
war, which doesn't necessarily help because you know the signs of trench foot.
You know the signs of trench foot intimately. This is not good.
You,
But
but anyway, Did Discord just reset for everyone or just me?
just you. I think
you.
the trench foot got you.
That was
Yeah.
weird because okay,
A tragic fate.
I was speaking and then Discord just closed. I was like, huh, that's fucking weird. Reopens, everyone's here.
Maybe Discord doesn't want to talk about Trenchfoot.
So anyway, okay, I guess moving on. Trenchfoot aside, what do you guys want to talk about?
What did you notice, Mark?
York still has my sock.
Fine. He'll take it
I'll-
off and toss on the floor.
That's not the laundry pile.
No,
Just
you
press
watch
to
as
digitize that like 3 times.
a mildly damp sock just lands on the shirt you spread out for tomorrow.
Oh,
What did I do?
His system is very delicate, unfortunately.
Sorry, buddy.
so good news.
Oh,
I know exactly where our person of interest is gonna be.
there with the class.
Wherever we hang Angus up, because we're gonna use him as bait.
Not a bad idea.
I'm thinking somewhere enclosed where he has 0 exits.
Do we think?
Angus, why does someone want to kill you?
He's gonna roll a self-insight check for a moment.
Like, what have I, Angus the cobbler, done to try to have someone murder me?
Okay. It's very hard to live in this life without making enemies as you go.
The cobbler.
I can
Christ,
think,
dude, you're a cobbler.
I can think of 12 men that probably hate me enough to try and kill me.
Okay. That fantastic start. Thank you. Of those 12 men, who have the funding and accessibility to hire strange shadow ninjas to kill you with magic in the dead of night? I
So
feel like that would
I'm gonna
also help it narrow
preference
it
this,
down.
but I don't know how much that would cost to pay for, but I'd say about 6 of them.
I'm going to further narrow that down to probably less than 6. So
Who are they?
Well-
That they have that you have managed to anger.
I used to live in Terraborn, and I may or may not have got into the habit of um, borrowing people's wives.
okay, it was going to be embezzlement or fucking their wives. I was wondering which one it would be.
Fucking cracks up.
I look at Fergus.
Fergus is just
ever-
looking at the room and it's chaos and is trying to and like kind of
No,
understands
I like-
Mark a little bit better as a person because it's like okay, Mark is an entity of chaos all the way through. He's not. He is a dick, but he's not intentionally a dick.
I
Fucking
snap
this
at
on
Fergus
me.
to get his attention. Did the others? Did they all come from Terraborn, or were some of them not from Terraborn?
No, not all of them were from there. I'm
need
sorry
to
that was so surprising.
The cat did the thing with the claws in my
But
thigh.
as you're talking, as like you're asking Fergus, you just feel like a mouse walk up your leg.
I tell it to stop that.
You can cast a spell or it won't understand you.
Well, I don't. As a druid, she's not going to be like ah. But cat's claws to the side might do it.
Oh, it's a pretty gross looking mouse. It's like it just crawled out of a set of underwear.
It's been in the sock pile, so
It looks a few
elastic
days
fight pile.
marinated.
You know, you guys are pretty judgy for a bunch of people disrupting my system.
She
Just
she
on a podcast.
quietly, while Fergus is talking, holds the mouse out to Callista with like, "Please prestidigitate this mouse, please."
Mark's like, oh, I got it. Pulls out knife.
Close is analyzing. Like, is this a hold mouse out for fireball or a firebolt or a hold mouse out for prestidigitation?
Prestidigitation.
I'll start with prestidigitation, and if she looks at me weird, I'll go to firebolt.
So, Kat, as you
Looks at me
prestidigitate the mouse, it goes from being like a grey colour to being a white colour.
Oh, I love him.
Ew. It was so grody.
It was, yeah. It's
Mark's
now
still reaching
clean.
over to stab it. Give it here.
Roll an
No, we talked
attack
about this. It's-
roll.
No, fuck you. Nyx is keeping the mouse now. It's pretty and white.
People
Yes.
like small animals, Mark. We talked about this.
Now what are we gonna feed Angus?
I assumed he would feed himself. I'm not gonna lie.
No, we're keeping him in one room for like as long as it takes.
Fuck, I forgot about that. I'm sure the bar has mystery soup.
I'm not that cruel.
are we gonna continue the interrogation after?
Yeah, I
Minute
guess we should do
nibble.
that.
Like, I'm all for asking this guy questions and like getting his adventures into cuckoldry and everything. But he clearly has some mind like stuff going on. Like
He does.
double agent, whatever. He doesn't have anything useful for us as he is. So unless we want to start like shout like phrases at him for activation, right?
Let's
I don't
pulls
think
out a
he's-
dictionary. It's like, let's get started.
I'm not gonna lie. So Nyx is looking at Mark like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
You
How-
never elaborated on the mind control bit.
Yes.
But
being a part of some underground collective, has been trained and conditioned to flip his expertise on and off. Right now, he's just Joe Bob the cobbler, but when he's needed, they utter a phrase or do a gesture or whatever, and he remembers what his actual illegal, evil job is.
And how do you know this?
I have very unique hobbies.
Like what?
Not sock puppetry.
It's a lost art.
For a reason.
Carl is an enigma. Mark's also an enigma, yeah, but Carl is an enigma.
A bunch of fucking weirdos. In every meaning of the word, we're just a bunch of fucking weirdos.
You're right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But okay, so we're using Mr. Taylor as bait. I don't think we should probably stay at the inn.
I mean, they probably won't blow it up.
No, we've been the ones doing that. So, I mean, we never blew up that second building. We could go there.
Nah, we found.
Yeah, other than that, sure, I'm on doorstep.
Like, my mentality is we are staying at the inn, so don't shit where you sleep.
Question. The houses that we've discovered safes in.
That you've destroyed, mostly.
Right. But
yeah, but mostly it's
were
not
they
all of
near
them.
each other? Were they built by
No.
the same person? Did they have the same layout?
Okay, so first question I can answer. Third question I can answer. Second question, you're gonna have to look at the city planner.
God fucking damn it. I hate being an actual investigator. That shit's boring.
So, luckily for you,
Hey,
because we live in
Fergus.
an age of paperwork, you could send someone down to City Hall and ask them to go and look up the records.
Hey,
Hey,
Fergus, go get
Fergus,
boy.
fetch.
I will ask Fergus nicely and respectfully because
I won't.
you're not asking, so shut the fuck up.
I might be. I'll roll you for it.
No.
You'd like to
So,
send Fergus down to City
I
Hall
w-
to go
I-
through, like, do the
I
whole...
will ask Fergus. I will tell him my thought process, which is if they don't know anything about these safes, then whoever built the houses would. So could you go find out if they're built by the same people? Or they were owned by the same family or guild or something at one point.
Okay. Fergus says he'll look into that. It will be a few hours because it's well, it's research. It's going to take a little while.
This sounds. I feel like this sounds not going to be the most precise.
Also, I was thinking about this of if each of the houses had a safe in them, kind of similar make, they all had the boom jelly in it or whatever we're calling it. Maybe the safes are like similar make. Like, could we track down maybe whoever manufactured or crafted the safes and had them installed? I don't know. It's hard when when two are exploded, but
What you could do is you could find a blacksmith and have them investigate the safe that isn't exploded.
okay. I'll go get the dwarf buddy after this. We can
You'll
do
also
that
have to get a
maybe.
stepladder for him.
Perfect. Yeah, can do.
And someone
Not
to
today, I
boost
can
him
just give
up
him a
to it.
boost.
No, he's gonna need help getting on the step ladder. He's very short.
So anyway, Fergus will go to the city office and, like the Ministerial scene in the first Lord of the Rings movie, he's going to go into a deep, dark basement with a torch and start pulling scrolls out and reading them. It's going to take a
He's leaving.
fucking while.
Mark's just gonna like call out, "Don't get killed and make my day or anything."
I lean over to Callista and Selwyn. Do you think he likes him? Is that what this is about?
I think he's making a friend.
Fergus will pause. He's going to insight your intentions. He's
think
working
he's
out
making a
if you're
friend.
just being a dick or if you're trying to, like this is like your banter. 15. Oh, actually, no, it's higher than it. It's 16 at a minimum because of his subclass.
11. So I lied to him successfully.
No.
Insightful rogues are the best, by the way.
Yeah. It's a very underused subclass, the Inquisitor. I'm fairly like I haven't played it, but I'm fond of it in general because it's got some pretty good skill stuff, but it's also one of the only rogues that can be like, I can sneak attack on my own because I'm just that good.
Yeah, sure.
This is cooler than you.
So, Murder, you were being a dick.
No, it's complicated.
I didn't ask what your Facebook status was. I asked what your statement was.
No, Patmore, it'd be our Facebook status.
Fergus's Facebook would be
Fergus's Facebook
What?
would be MySpace.
no. Fergus's Facebook would be like Twitter, set to private with no followers, and like it.
Just a ghost.
So all of his stuff would be like Detective Noir monologues, but just written for only himself to read.
It's really more like a chronicle for himself than a social
Yeah.
media experience.
As God intended.
Well, because like he would write like he joined with the idea of like communicating with people, but that's like I can't let the people I'm hunting see my inner thought process, so I'll set it to private.
Fergus.
Yep.
He lives a tough life.
Sure.
Every day is a cold, dark day in Fergus's mind. But anyway,
boy.
so he will accept you as a damaged person. He'll walk away.
Yeah,
I'll
Mark is
damage
just
his
the dick that he
person.
is.
I'll damage his person.
Seeing that we're down Emmy at this second, do we want to take our 5-minute break now?
Sure.
Cool.
Watch me.
Fucking Fergus.
Fucking Murder.
You'll be friends eventually.
No.
We'll
We're
get.
not fucking keeping him if that's what. No.
No, I don't want to keep him, but like, I think it's funny when I say things like that and you have your knee-jerk reaction of no. I think that's very funny. So.
I will say I think the reason you won't keep him is purely because either Murder will kill him or you guys will be unwilling to pay the exorbitant fee it takes to get like a full-time investigator on your payroll.
Welcome back,
Yeah.
Emmy. We're taking a break. Just because.
Yeah, we
the fact
decided
that-
to take a 5-minute break because you weren't here and then spoke long enough that you returned before we started.
That's okay. I need to go get paint water.
Like, because you're painting or because you're thirsty?
I'm painting.
I'll allow
Be right
it
back.
as long as you show us the painting later.
Oh God, no! I've literally just put down a background. It's currently just a colorful square.
Well,
But I'll be right back.
okay, good luck.
Thanks.
God, I hate Fergus.
Yeah, you had all my, you...
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say you had all of my, like, I'm gonna call it the PI archetype, but I don't think that's it, because I don't think you minded, Saf, and he's kind of similar to that archetype.
Yeah, no, I usually gel very well with every like companion NPC you do.
I think Fergus himself, the reason that you're not fond of him is not actually the archetype of character, but the way your two characters exist in a vacuum. Because you guys are very similar in the like lone wolf investigator archetype, but he's coming at it from a like a lawful good perspective, and you're coming at it from a character neutral perspective.
Yeah, no, I think the in-character clash is amusing, and so I'm also taking it out of character because it's funny, and I'm doing it
Yeah.
as a hobby.
Because
I am gonna get a drink though.
Oh yeah. No,
Start-
I'm making a drink as well. So go and get your drink. I'll see you in a moment.
I'm back.
I thought you were.
Ah, you thought wrong.
Or one could say, wrong again. Um.
Yes.
Sorry, I was thinking. I was like, oh, here's something that I'll ask. And I was like, then I kind of went very deep in the labyrinth of my own mind palace on my own question, and then realized that I know my answer. I don't need to ask that question.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So we've the whole detect magic thing. I guess technically, the like the specifically on the front of like used to magic residue on it, the way it can detect that is I feel that that's an important mechanic in universe that isn't actually represented in any way. Because I think the way that it's normally shown in most campaigns is some like a person A casts a fireball, person B comes along later and tries to work out what happened. I feel normally person B is allowed like a arcana, investigation, whatever check to kind of work out what's happening there. And there isn't like a hard and fast like rule like working out like how our characters are meant to be able to investigate evidence of magic, because D&D is generally a lot more rules light than earlier editions, so it doesn't go into as much effort to work that shit out. But
Yeah.
I feel Detect Magic itself should be able to be used in that manner. If not, there should be a spell of a similar level that should be able to look up magical residue.
Magical residue detection.
Um,
Detect residue.
maybe arcane sense. That kind of functions in the same way like divine sense and primeval awareness and stuff is meant to work. Because detect magic is a very interesting beast in general, because the way I believe on its wording, like technically it wouldn't even pick up like innate magical effects from creatures. I think it only really interacts with spells, which makes it a strange thing to deal with sometimes.
Did you realize you got kicked out of
Did I?
Discord? Yeah.
Yep.
What was the last thing I said, Murder?
That it's an interesting beast, and then you came in with should be able to pick up on that.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying is, traditionally speaking, in Detect Magic doesn't really deal with innate magical abilities that well. So like, Dragon's Breath, Werewolf, Transformation, shit like that. Where I feel that technically in universe it should have more of an interaction with that, but rules as written, it doesn't really affect that. It doesn't really interact with that field of magic, which I'll call, I guess, innate magic, which raises a question like, Mind Flayers get innate psychic magic. Can Detect Magic pick any of that shit up?
In the setting that D&D is based in, no, because psionics are different.
But like
different
to
than
some
magic.
degree, right? You kind of have to ignore that now that Tasha made like 4 psionic subclasses.
Like, guide me through your thought process on that, because I think I agree. I just don't know how you got there.
Well, okay, so in universe, psionic is a field of exceptional ability that is not magic in any way. Right? It is incompatible with magic in the way it works. It's like talking about in like most fantasy settings the difference between magic and key, and it's just entirely two different subject matters. So because Tasha's greatly lent into the psionic aspect of character classes, like all the psychic dragon stuff, the psionic sorcerer, the like I think there's a feat in there as well that psionic, like technically speaking, like lore is written, not rules is written. That stuff would be exempt from, counter spell, detect magic, all that stuff. But I think rules is written, you just have to kind of treat psionics as basically just flavored spellcasters.
Oh, yeah. Because... Yeah, no, you can't... You can't just give them immunity to, like, mechanics that are already in play that have been, like, balanced around. Yeah.
Because, like, just the psionic sorcerer, ignoring everything else, like, at the Abjurant Mind, or whatever they're called, if they worked lore as written, then they would be the strongest, like, spellcasting subclass in D&D, because they're exempt from the rules of all the other spell subclasses.
Yeah.
Which was not their design intention, because if you read the Abjurant Mind, really they're just a warlock. Like, they're a sorcerer that took one step towards a warlock spectrum of ability. But...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Fun factoid about the warlocks, right? Did you know that, like, it's in the rules that the patron can't take away the magic if they're displeased.
That's interesting. That is something that I will not. I'd probably never run as a hard rule, and I say that with the intention of never really using that as a like, hey, do what your patron says or I'll take your powers away. But I feel that definitely in lore it has to be something that's exists because it kind of has to for the patron to be willing to give power to anyone.
I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you have no consequences for like, and this is somebody that got fucked over by the fact that I mean, so just to explain, I was playing a cleric, and I rolled a nat 1 on an insight check, and I did something that caused me to fall. I lost all my cleric powers. And it was some of the best RP ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't... And she actually became a warlock, unwillingly became a warlock. So I really don't like that there are no consequences for not role-playing appropriately.
I feel that there are some rules in D&D that are written in defense of players against mean GMs, right? Because
Well, it's sorry, my bad.
no problem. Because like I can see an argument that's like, okay, you know, I'm a paladin, I'm playing a game, and the GM doesn't like me, and they're like, hey, you know, technically, that's probably against your oath if your powers are away. And then the player can be like, hey, well, you know, apparently, you know, according to this rule, you can't do that. So I can see an argument for why that rule could exist. But on the counter argument, I don't think you should write rules to police GMs into being nicer to players because that rule's not going to make a difference. That GM, if they're a dick, they're going to be a dick. So you should more or less let GMs police themselves.
They'll just override the rule anyway.
Yeah.
I think the point of it is that like warlocks aren't divine casters. Like a warlock's power is more like an exchange. Like it's literally a deal. They're paying you in magic and it's a permanent alteration to yourself instead of like a functioning relationship like a divine caster would be.
Again, you know, I can get that from like we'll call it the Adventures League perspective, in which it's like, it doesn't, you know, matter if you're a warlock or you're a wizard or you're a sorcerer. All that matters is your attack numbers, your defense numbers, and your ability numbers. So when you strip the RP from the game and it's just it's just a battle simulator, I can get that. It's just narratively speaking, I think warlocks really probably out of any given caster, they should have the closest relationship with their spell giver. With like paladins having like the least, depending on whether or not you consider druids and rangers given casters. Because technically, you can make an argument that some of them have their magic because they're given it by the Fae and not because they've learned it like a wizard does.
Like, I agree with you, I just don't see how those two correlate. Because Warlock treats their patron as like their employer instead of just a guideline for how they live their life, which is what a cleric would do, for example.
Yeah.
Like, I
guess
agree that they probably have like the closest like relationship with their source of power. Like, I agree with that. It's just they have to be fundamentally different from like what a divine caster would be because they're quite obviously not that.
I will say, I think in my mind, right, the difference between a warlock and a cleric, right, it can be a lot because, like, you know, there are clearly. Actually, you know, I'd argue nearly every patron of a warlock is also like there's an equivalent in the cleric patron pool. But so I think the entire difference is a cleric kind of has to work for it, understand the science behind the magic, and then they're given it. Where a warlock is essentially not given the same training and just given power, and that's why they interact with their power in very different ways, and why the cleric has much more capacity for magic. because they're a pseudo wizard, I guess, in my analogy. But
I'm back, by the way. I just didn't want to interrupt that
that's
whole
fine.
talk y'all were having.
We were going way more philosophical than I think we needed to, but it's an interesting conversation, but potentially not enough to take up the session. Emmy, are you here?
Yep.
Cool. So, Fergus is going to the records, and he's gonna, slowly die from
Do
1,000
his
paper
fucking
cuts.
Good.
We've got Emmy. You wanted to find a blacksmith to inspect the safe.
Yeah, I'll try and get the dwarf who's been helping us already. So I'll wander over there if anyone wants to come with me.
We
Cat,
should
you-
definitely have. Yeah, I can do that.
Well,
But yeah,
no,
we should definitely have.
would you
keys.
like to bring Pip back?
Oh yeah, I do need to bring Pip
Yeah.
back. Okay, so I guess that's what I'm doing for an hour.
So why
Hold
don't Emmy take either Carl, Nix, or Mark, and the two that you don't take can guard the prisoner.
Sure, I'll take. I don't know if I trust Mark with this
It
prisoner.
would be pretty funny
Yep.
though. You come back. The prisoner might
Do
not have
you
toes,
trust
but
me?
you know all his secrets.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Carl with me.
The sock guy.
The
Yeah,
dream team rides again.
it went really well the last time.
He charmed the pants off that dwarf. It's fine.
He did.
So okay,
Sure.
you and Captain Socks head out.
Yeah.
Angel, do you want to stay with the prisoner with Mark, or do you really just want to do something else for an hour?
Wait, I thought Mark was going.
No, Mark's staying.
Yeah.
I'm
Carl
not
is
leaving the
going.
prisoner alone with Mark.
But it won't be a problem in an hour if you just go for a bit of a walk.
No.
Okay. So, Cat, you get your required ritual components to resummon your cat, mostly cat food.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emmy and Carl, you go to the dwarf shop. What do you tell him?
Well, we need your help again. I'm willing to pay you. I just need you to inspect a safe for us and see if you can tell me anything about it. That's my opener.
Okay. If you can bring it in, we'll take a look at it.
It'd be a bit difficult to bring it in. I was hoping more so you'd come with us, and then you could take a look at it. It's in the wall of a house, so.
Well, house tools are more expensive because I have to close up the shop.
That's fine.
How much are you offering?
Let's go with 10 silver.
Okay.
We're all sitting
Lead the
here
way.
like none of us know how the economy
I
works.
have no idea how it works. I'm like,
10.
Just like in
Seems
real
like
life.
a decent amount.
Enough.
A way to think about it is 10 silver in it. We'll say is roughly around 100 American dollars.
That's a good rate.
Yeah,
Because 10
that's
silver,
good, yeah.
that's 10 days at a fairly shitty hotel. Which is actually really cheap, relatively speaking, for this economy, but...
I'm only gonna need him for like an hour or so.
Yeah, no. How about 5 copper instead?
How about you're not there and you can go fuck yourself?
Yeah, I'll mark that off my sheet.
So, you guys start going to the house. Murdo, are you doing anything to the poor prisoner?
Well, like, I was gonna take him to the the safe house
What's the safe house?
because we were no the house in which the safe is because we're spending a night there.
Oh,
we'll meet
sorry,
up
the
on way.
safe house. Sorry, I understand.
Yeah, and like hang him on the ceiling or something like a pinata.
So,
No,
you
no.
and
What the fuck?
She's not
You
letting
had
me
us,
do
then
that.
you lost us.
so you and Nix are walking into the
Bait.
safe house.
Like bait, right?
He's bait if you don't string him up by the hooks as well.
He needs to look enticing.
Mark, no.
He needs to look enticing.
No.
Fine.
Can I have a perception check from the two of you while you escort him through the city?
Maybe. What's
You
it to
see
you?
a suspiciously injured guy who looks like he might
You
have
see a
jumped
guy
off
that's
a
like
bell tower.
limping real bad. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck.
Face covered in roadstone.
Sorry. Perception.
Nose is broken in 3 places.
It really looks like he took a splat just now.
Kind of looks
24.
like he had an argument with a car and lost. One moment. Sorry, Ruby wanted to say hello.
Hi, Ruby.
Hello.
Aw.
Okay, Ruby says bye now.
Aw.
Okay, so, uh, hey Murdo,
Hey, Petmar.
as you're kind of like just walking through the streets, you know, relaxing, hanging out with your like third best friend and a prisoner, and you know, you start getting the feeling that there are eyes on you.
Separate from the divine eyes?
Well, you weren't feeling eyes on you before. Like,
Alright.
you were aware there's some sort of divination shit happening, but, like, this is like, okay, my seventh
Someone's
sense
like
is tingling.
looking at me with intent. It's like people. It's like how people can sense that you're looking at them through a scope. Which is
Yeah,
why
kind of. Like, you
snipers-
just feel that there are eyes on you.
Mhm.
Like, maybe someone's,
Okay.
like, scoping at you, maybe someone's stalking you, just, you know, your murder hypo senses are tingling.
Yeah, my murder sense. Okay. With like a 21 or just with my general like. Actually, I'll come at it from a different angle. As I'm walking down the street, right?
Mhm.
From my like pool of knowledge, like just using my peripherals and my general awareness of the street, where would I be if I were like stalking myself here?
Well,
Like angle wise, I'm not asking for a specific direction. Just
what I
angle-wise.
can, what I can say is, with your experience in stalking people, they would be behind you to start with, because it is very hard to stalk someone from ahead of them unless you know their pathing, which presumably that they don't know your pathing, because no one knew your pathing until you knew your pathing 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
So they're most likely behind you. So ways that you can determine who's stalking you is by making note of the foot traffic around you and how that shifts in and out as you go through different parts of the city. Essentially looking for the common value.
I'll keep an eye on that because that doesn't seem like too immediate. But what I'll also do is I'm assuming because like Angus is like quote unquote prisoner here, he's like between me and somebody.
Yeah. Someone has a name, but yeah.
Thanks, fucking Mark, you asshole.
Is Callista not with us? Because I see.
No,
she-
Callista went somewhere else.
She's
It's you and me.
currently kneeling in front of a plate of catnip.
All right, so me and somebody are
Yeah.
flanking on Angus on both sides.
You
There's some-
asshole.
My summoning ritual is just like pss, pss, pss.
I'm just gonna like. I'm gonna walk in front of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I have one more perception check as you guys are essentially arriving at the location?
Bye. Oh, is this like tied in with like me keeping eye on foot traffic, or is that a separate
Yeah.
check? Okay.
Technically, I'd allow insight as an alternative, but it's
Well,
probably the same modifier by
Decide
wisdom
for
checks.
me.
I didn't do well on that one.
Um,
It's a 10.
I'll say essentially by the time you get there, you're fairly sure you've lost the tail. But you know it's hard to tell. But you're fairly sure the eyes are off you at this point.
Nick's got an 18. If
Yep.
that makes a difference.
Nix is unaware of anyone stalking her, if anyone is. So
Yeah, because you didn't say anything, so
I'd say if you rolled an 18 on the original check, you would have been aware of the stalking. The DC was below 18 on the first check. So presumably
You
at this
don't take
point.
someone aside and go, "Hey, I think there's someone following us."
I mean, I can't do anything with the 18 if I didn't know about the original stalking, so it doesn't matter that I got an 18 then.
Yet. It doesn't matter yet. So you guys head inside the building?
Yeah, find like a good support beam for this guy.
How
You're
about-
not
how-
No.
Stop!
How about the bed or the couch?
I
He
will
has to be-
point at the couch for the dude without letting Mark even say anything.
So, he's gonna lay down on the couch and get a few Z's, if that's okay.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna go because we have like it didn't take us an hour to get here.
Yeah,
I
no, it's
imagine.
been 10 minutes. Like, you know, the cat has appeared for Cat, but right now it's giving her the grumpy look, staring her down, waiting till it waiting for the chicken, and then I'll eat the food, and then it'll be properly summoned.
Right. Mark's just gonna say, "All right, I'm gonna go make a food run for him because I think we're gonna be here a while."
What sort of food do you want to eat?
What's like the boonies equivalent of takeout?
Like,
It's the
Uh,
stew.
Brad, I feel like we haven't eaten solid food all the entire time we are here. It's all soup.
Oh, actually, I'll come at it from a different angle. Patmar,
Mhm.
is anyone having a barbecue in their backyard right now?
Oh no.
ro-
Take their
roll
food.
a
Monster.
smell-based perception check.
I love how you like. You're leaving the window open for if I have anything special on smell-based check.
I don't know. Your character could be part dog.
10 again.
Not sensing any barbecue nearby.
It's pretty stinky in the city, to be fair.
Like,
Yeah,
you
fair
take a
enough.
smell and then you're like, that kind of smells like shit. And then you have like that moment of like, that's not me, is it? And then you kind of look down and like right between your legs is a cow pat.
Huh.
How long have I been standing above this piece of shit? Weird. And you kind of like
Well-
take the moment to look at both your shoes and you're like, it's fine. And then you put your foot back down and it's like, oh no.
Right, I'll go figure out that whole situation and try to find like solid food, maybe like a bakery or something.
Like there's a lot, like just generally speaking, there's a lot of different solid meats. You could also go for like something in like the pasta spectrum of food, because pasta is a food that exists in this
Oh
area.
yeah, I know, but like I have to like carry it there, and it has to be all right when it's cold and shit like that.
So really, what you're asking is like pre-cooked chicken then.
basically,
So, Moto, would you like to go down to essentially like one of the eateries and just buy like a full roasted chicken?
yep.
You want to splurge and make it a turkey?
Sure, I'll treat myself.
Okay.
It's been a hard day of work for you.
Mark down
This
4
is mostly
silver.
for me.
2 silver.
That you can't barter at the eatery, man.
No, I think I can.
Roll intimidation.
Rob the
If I-
eatery.
If I take out my weapon, I think I can barter.
This is not a weapon intimidation check. This is essentially a Karen check.
Ah, well, 16.
I'll let it go for 4.
Can I just take the chicken and the turkey and walk out?
Like stealing it.
Yeah, but like at a casual pace.
Mark is gonna get us all.
Roll
fucking
a sleight of
killed,
hand check
guys.
or roll a performance check. Performance is
Just
like the
pay
oh, I'm
the
meant to be
fucking
here.
4 silver.
Oh fuck! I'm not proficient in performance at all, but I'm so no. Fuck it, I'm doing it.
Committed to the bit. Oh.
So, Murder, you kind of like walk in, see the prices, negotiate out the prices, and just kind of like pick the turkey up and start walking to the door. And the guy's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
I forgot to pay.
Pay, please."
Oh boy.
Murder, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Put
Or-
down 2 silver on the counter and walk out.
And the rest of it?
No, I'm out.
Mark's already gone. What an
Okay.
enigma.
Murder, roll a D100 to see how willing the worker is willing to deal with your shit right now. Like, this is gonna be is this a guard problem, or is this okay, because you rolled so high, this guy, he doesn't own this place. You know, it's his boss is getting,
It's not
he's losing the
his
money
place.
here. He can
I
go,
was gonna
like, his
say.
boss can fuck himself, he's not dealing with shit like you.
Yep. Not my
Uh,
paycheck. This is coming
yeah.
out of it. I'm fine.
He'll just say it was robbed by a weird foreigner. And he'll pocket the 2 silver.
He won't even
Yeah,
put
he
them
never
in
saw the
rest-
turkey.
Hugh Silver was purely just a bribe.
So, okay, so, Emmy and Zombie, you guys will arrive with the dwarf, a little bit before Murder gets back.
Okay, good.
So, the safe. The dwarf will investigate it. Let's see how he does. Well, that's a 7 on the dice, which means that that's a 13. So, just looking at it to start with, he's unaware of the make and model. It's not one he's necessarily seen before, but he will dig deeper if you guys are okay with that.
Go for it.
Cool. He starts, taking tools out of his belt and starts disassembling the front of the safe.
You need any help, anybody? Do you need any help, buddy? I'm pretty good with tools too.
Roll a persuasion check.
with advantage because Carl is a dwarf whisperer.
I'll
Right.
say the dwarf is willing to kind of like roll this one. He's going to just essentially pass you some tools and kind of step back and let you have the first crack.
Okay.
Roll roll an intelligence check, tinkering if you're proficient, just to try to disassemble the safe.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
What? Oh, Patmore, what the fuck is going on with your game? Our rolls are terrible. Consistently terrible.
You guys just need
Carl
to
does
believe
that.
in the heart of the dice more. Um,
Tells you to go away. Please stop.
so
Please just sit down.
So, Nix, you're on the other side of the wall. You know, you've got the prisoner sitting on the couch. You know, you're minding your own business. You hear like some banging. It's like, okay, they're pulling apart the safe, and then you see the back of the safe just pushed through the wall.
This is exactly what she does.
Just like making a large metal just like clank noise as it comes out and just dents the floor.
You got it
You
up
then
against the
hear
wall.
dwarven swearing.
Well, it's out of the wall now.
And you kind of just see Carl through the hole, but you don't see the origin of the dwarf.
He just
Very
kind
cool.
of sheepishly waves over you.
I'm gonna go talk to our bait to see if I can tease out. Like, I'm gonna just walk away from this and see if I can figure out why they're targeting this guy.
So I'm just gonna roll for how well he went for that nap. It was almost going well until the safe nearly landed on his head. He's very stressed. He almost feels that orc had it in for him.
Which
Just
orc?
points at the guy with crazy eyes who's looking through the hole in the wall. You feel free to roll an insight check on him just to kind of like pull stuff out of him. The
Okay. It was a natural one, but
I
I
know.
needed to do that for my
I
own
know.
sanity.
I know. That's a lot of rolls for, no green numbers. There's a lot of low
Anyway.
rolls too. Anyway,
Your game is cursed.
it has nothing to do with me. I'm rolling well.
Hacks.
Yeah.
Patmore's hacking.
I will say, you're the second person in 2 days who have accused me of hacking dices.
Was it Cat?
No, I was doing something with someone else, and they'd been rolling poorly all night. And the best roll of the night was a 19, and it was an opposition roll, and so they were happy. And then I rolled a nat 20. And
Makes
that's all she
sense.
wrote.
Makes sense.
Yep. Look, I don't enjoy rolling well as a GM because it's just me shitting on you guys more effectively. But anyway, the dwarf will angrily walk into the next room and look at the warped and dented safe, and now with disadvantage try to do his research.
We can't have anything. We've bungled this investigation so bad. We could have caught the killer by now, I swear to God.
So with a 7, he can identify that the inner workings of the safe and things he might be able to identify the craft of the safe, such as like the locking mechanism and stuff, are currently rooted enough that he would need a second one of a similar condition to be able to compare and contrast. So
we'll get right on that.
he also
Wait,
would like to increase his bill a little bit because some of his tools were just fucked up by
I would
someone
say-
bludgeoning them through the wall.
If he says that, Nyx will point out, well, we might be able to find one depending on what Fergus finds at the records hall, or whatever they call it here.
Or if
But-
someone else gets murdered, then we can find it.
The dwarf will
Selwyn-
pause for a moment. Hang on.
Selwyn, what the fuck?
People are being murdered? I don't remember you guys telling me about people being murdered. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
Nyx
up
is
the
just
bill
like-
again.
I
Hazard
mean,
pay
you're
and
not
all
at
that.
risk. I'll
Yeah,
give
it
you
must
an
look
extra
awful
3
safe from up
silver.
there.
How about that? Just for the trouble, 3 silver.
Make it 6.
Let's go with 4.
Make it 6. He broke my screwdriver.
I think 4 is much better.
Roll a persuasion check on mildly upset dwarf.
Oh, fuck you!
Okay. The dwarf will settle on the original. He will pause. He will say, "We'll go with the original fee. We agreed on it. In the future, when you want me to walk over a bunch of dangerous things, tell me first."
Will do.
And then he'll like eye the shit out of your orc before like asking is there anything else you need.
No, just keep translating that book, I suppose.
Yep. He
Don't
goes
worry
to walk
about it.
out the door before like Murder walks in with a turkey, and then he kind of just finds a seat and sits down. Murder, you have a
Yes.
turkey.
I do.
Oh, actually, sorry, I'm moving too far ahead. There's a certain that one we didn't resolve. Without a shadow of doubt in your mind, Angel, this is an innocent man. This is someone who, for whatever, imperfections he has as a person, hasn't really done anything that has brought him into his own circumstances. His life right now is fate's cruel joke.
I hate everything.
I know you do, and I apologize for it.
He's not very funny. We're being a joke.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys, like everyone in the house smells turkey as someone's carrying a turkey the size of their own torso into the house. Cooked turkey, by the way.
Hey, you're gonna share some of that, right?
Don't even
Yes.
ask. Just. Ooh, there's a cat there. Hi.
So, Murder, what do you do with the turkey?
Does this guy have like a kitchen table?
Yeah.
Probably set it down there. Grab a plate. Eat turkey.
Okay. The dwarf will walk up to have some.
Nyx grabs our bait and brings him over. Let's eat.
Your bait starts eating from it. Cat, at this point, your friend has finished the nip, and they're willing to be your friend.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it would do that.
As you, like, they just give you a 1,000-yard stare. Like you brought it up, they're right back there.
I know, I'm sorry. We can go get you more bird. Or fish.
The second you say bird or fish, they just start like walking behind you with their tail wagging.
Like, we're good now.
Cats
I remembered
don't
the
wag
important
their
things in life.
tails.
Well, this fucking monstrosity does. Remember, it's not a cat; it's a bird, cat, butterfly.
They just have their tails up. That's how
He-
the
he-
cats are. How you know
He
cats are
flicks
happy.
it around.
They also like this one flicks it around passive aggressively because there's a little bit of weight to it.
Yeah.
It feels like being slapped by a toddler.
Like, it's not like it hurts, but it's like, oh, that was noticeable, okay.
And I will note there is still a little bit of passive aggression in there because like as you're walking, people keep walking in front of you, and then stopping.
I'll scoop him up and put him on my shoulder. It's like, I know you like to be tall. I'm sorry about the thing. We'll get you food.
People allow it this time. But Pip will let you know you're on fucking thin ice right now.
I know.
Like no point of this agreement was there I'm the bomb detonating cat. If you want a bomb detonating familiar, just get a fucking fish and throw it at bombs, okay?
So, we thought there would be things that aren't bombs back there. The bombs were a surprise to us all.
The last thing people say before going into silence was I thought wizards were smart.
I'm book smart. Not.
Pip's just looking away.
I'm aware that I am an eternal student of life. It's fine. I've gotten better recently.
Cat, you feel that you're speaking to deaf ears right now. Pip is just looking at birds outside.
Yeah.
He's
He'll
there to be
scritch
mean
him
to
and then
you.
keep walking.
Oh, yeah, you scratch him and keep walking? Not a problem.
Yeah.
So, turkey is consumed. The bait will go back to having a lay down to try again with a save not being dropped on his head this time. What's everyone else's plan?
I'm gonna be watching Angus, I guess, and waiting for Fergus
Mm-hmm.
to get back with any news.
Murder?
Just so we're clear, I didn't notice anything on my way back.
You can roll a perception check if you want.
Oh, I'll try to. Not that good at it, because I'm not the perception boy in the party.
No, but you're the perception man in the party.
18.
Again, you know, like while you're traveling through the city, you feel eyes on you, but the second you kind of get close enough to the house, like that feeling kind of immediately drops.
Right? That's interesting.
So, like, you could be in a blind spot theoretically, or they know potentially they might know where you're going to, so they know they don't need to follow you that last leg.
I'd assume it's a ladder, honestly.
Like,
But
or
there's
you know,
prob-
like maybe you've just impressed like a lady in this town, and she's just too nervous to approach you.
I think it's that one.
Yeah, no, totally.
Or,
I
you know,
have
Fergus
been
could be a
the-
lizard person who's just stalking you when, you send him away to make sure you're not, like, finding out he's secretly a lizard person.
I think
Or
it's a
you
mixture.
can't make lizard person jokes when there are so many lizard people in your setting.
Look, everything's a joke until, it's not a joke, okay? So it's a joke until you guys fight lizard people, and then it's actually a double joke at that point. But anyway, it's fine. So,
When in the day is it, roughly? Like right
I would say like by the time Cat arrives, it's kind of like late afternoon, just because you guys had a lot of little things you were doing all day.
now? I'm just gonna go take a nap.
Cool.
So I just want to. What's the plan for the evening then? Are we using Angus as bait or?
Yeah,
Yes.
basically we string him up in front of a house and we wait for him to bite.
Because I was gonna say I might stake out maybe a spot outside the house just so I can keep an eye on things. Versus all
Hey,
of us
that's
being
an idea.
crammed into one room. So.
Murder.
That
Could I quickly
is-
have a wisdom save?
Oh.
And Emmy, could
I
you
don't know.
roll a? We'll make it a survival check to find like a good vantage point.
Okay.
I don't know, Patmore, can you?
Why did Mark need to do a wisdom save? I am concerned.
That turkey was a few days old.
That's what the wisdom, indigestion wisdom save.
No. Murder, you need to
Yeah,
understand.
mind over matter.
It was not food poisoning. It was turkey possession.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, 21.
Right, cool, interesting. So, Emmy, you do find
Oh,
like
no.
a good vantage point that you can kind of watch the house from.
Great.
You get the
Oh,
choice of like ground level or second story.
I might go second story,
Murder.
but I'm gonna rest for the rest of the day because I'm missing a few hit points.
Yep, not a problem.
No, I was just gonna ask, could I like roughly like determine the cutoff point? Like how far from the actual building is it?
You'd say it's essentially the block.
Okay. Cool.
Kat, when you arrive with Pip, is there anything you want to do? There is most of a turkey. Like they fucking had lunch without you as well.
That's fine.
That was Mark's fault.
That's
What?
no, it's fine.
You're asleep. Shut up.
No, that was murder. I don't disagree with you. I just fail to see how.
It's like, no, I'm willing to acknowledge Mark's fault, but I want to see your reasoning. I know why I think it's Mark's fault. No, that's fine. Had to figure out Pip's
Spicy.
deal. Did something blow up?
Don't worry about it. Keep talking.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I just bet.
Carl unfortunately ruined the Smith's tools. He's angry at us, and we
You
tried
got
to make
turkey.
up.
He's fine now.
Yes, we tried to make up with some turkey and a little extra coin, but apparently he needs another safe of similar make in order to investigate. So hopefully Fergus will be able to find something in the town records.
There is that. But Fat Fool Sue, just wait.
So has
I mean,
every safe been in a fireplace?
No, they've been in a few different places in the house.
Oh, okay.
You can't, try to attack those poor bricklayers, over the
No,
side.
I was legitimately gonna be like, let's go look at everyone's fireplace.
Hello, fireplace inspection, sir. Part of the city guard.
No. What
You're
you
perfectly
do,
routine.
you go out at night. You don't ask anyone's permission. And you just fucking Santa Claus everyone's chimney.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And by Santa Claus, I mean drop the skinniest player down the chimney and see if they hit a safe at any point. So unfortunately, Selwyn would in fact be the chimney sweeper. But it's fine.
It's probably fine.
But so anyway, would I be right to assume the kind of the collective idea at this point is kind of just like wait until nightfall and then, or wait until nightfall and or when Fergus arrives?
Yeah, Fergus arriving, nightfall happening, or Bait getting stabbed. Any of those things proc us doing something.
Okay. And so just to clarify, Emmy's the only one who's resting outside of murder.
I don't need to right now. I get nothing from a short rest, so
I'm not
I wasn't
mechanically
missing hit
resting.
points.
I'm just power napping.
Just chilling.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend one hit die if I can. If I get a
No,
short rest.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
because somebody got some hit die back themselves, which is always a good feeling.
Good roll.
I'm back at full.
So, Fergus won't arrive until like kind of 6 in the evening, which is a little bit later than you thought. He will explain it took him a little longer than he thought because he returned to the inn to look for you. And
I
then
guess we didn't tell
had
him where
to
we were going.
backtrack a little bit to work out where you went.
We did
And that-
tell him that we were going to take him somewhere.
No.
Didn't we?
You
No, I
wanted the information, and then he walked out of the room, and then you guys formulated the rest of your plan.
Yeah, no, we did do that.
He's been to 5 places looking for you. This is the 6th place he thought you might be.
6 times the charm. What do you know?
Yep,
Apologies on that count, but
not
good
a
job
problem.
investigating.
Would you like some turkey? It's actually good.
Who brought it here?
Murder,
That's-
but we've all eaten it.
That feels like
Mark.
not the question you need to ask.
I had an early lunch. It's fine.
An early lunch. It's 6 o'clock. Wouldn't that make you more hungry?
Fine.
We've all eaten the turkey.
I guess we can all go
Yeah.
out. Okay. He'll have, like the fucking dregs of the turkey, because at this point everyone's had their share, and while no one's been looking Pip spin polishing off one of the bits.
Yep.
So, Fergus has with him like just a fucking shit ton of paperwork and is willing to essentially like exposition you on city planning. The long and like the long answer short, essentially, to some degree, those buildings do all share an architect, like a constructor. Not in an entirety though, because when you break down the construction of different things, different specific groups do different parts of the construction. So like one group would do would make the bases, the fireplace, and a lot of stonework. A different group would do a lot of the woodwork, etc. Like so, once you break it down, about 4 groups are involved in each construction project. There are 2 groups that like in the Venn diagram of properties have been involved in both, but that might not necessarily be the lead you're looking for, because there's quite a few properties that are shared in that Venn diagram. So studying other ones built in that that involve the work of those 2 companies would be needed to kind of like narrow it down out of the 2 of the companies, if that is in fact the lead you're looking for.
I'm just trying to figure out what other houses. If this guy has nothing to do with anything nefarious, then it has to have something to do with the house and what's in the safe. So I'm trying to find other safes.
What about that shop I saw the guy in? The guy who beat me up.
Oh,
my
okay.
ass.
Looking that up, there would be no relation. That would be a much newer building. So none of the companies that have been relevant worked there.
Huh. Coincidence then, maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, Emmy, could I have a wisdom save?
Sure.
Really bad timing.
Interesting.
God damn
So,
it, Patmore.
goddamn
Keep
what?
trying to
Andrew?
wisdom people.
Somebody is scrying on you guys.
Is scrying a wisdom save?
I'm pretty sure it
It's
is.
charisma or something.
Who knows?
Totally
I don't-
unrelated to what's
I don't
happening
know
to Emmy.
spells.
But I was like, Mark was just gonna like get up from the couch and go for a little patrol.
Okay. Roll
Just around the.
like a perception check.
Hey, you want any help? I'm good at helping.
Matter, you have a quick flashback of just
Sure,
a bunch of
buddy.
times Carol has been involved in catastrophe, but then the other part of you is like, from Carol in between me and danger.
Danger
No, see-
always seems to go for Carl.
See, no, the in character reason. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna elaborate on this. I'm just gonna go with it. Mark kind of turns to kind of okay. Might get a little cramped if you're there to help me.
Interesting. I'm intrigued.
I wouldn't be.
Hmm.
I'm going to go take a leak.
Oh, well. Never mind then. I'll leave that to your capable hands.
I mean, Mark might want help, so.
Do you need help, buddy?
I'm flattered, Nix, but I can in fact hold it in both of my hands.
Jeez.
Noted.
Patmore. There's
Mhm.
dice appearing.
What? No.
But like just barely. So
So, Murder, do you want to walk outside and take a slash?
yep.
Like, anywhere in particular, or?
I'd find it like an alleyway, not like in the middle of the fucking road.
Okay. Like there are like outhouses if you want to use it, but you can piss on the side of society if you want to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
The
So-
former or the latter.
The outhouse.
Okay. Cool.
Question.
Yep.
Would Mark have told us about like the whole feeling washed until you got to the house thing?
Or Turkey, yeah. Like, oh, by the by, someone's totally following us. Perpetually. And he wouldn't elaborate.
Oh, Mark.
Roll an insight check on craziness, I guess. Like just whether or not you think he's like, is this like the government has tracking devices in my teeth, or is he like, does he know what he's
You know,
talking
it
about?
says more about you guys than it says about Mark, and you can't fucking figure him out when he's being genuine.
Look, this is Patmore's fucking cursed game, okay?
What are you talking about? You know, Carl's been rolling fine all night, except
Reads
for that
Mark
one
like
one.
a book.
I will say, Carl, on a very deep level, understands where Mark is right now. You know, you see, like, you know, he's a kindred spirit. You know, he's a soul, you know, lost in the sea of the world. You know, you think he's just really a straight shooter. Like Carl, you know, he's just a different side of the coin of you. Both of you are just two straight shooters making your way in this world. You don't know why people distrust him. It's weird.
Very transparent he is.
Yeah, no. That's our Mark. Open book.
He hasn't lied to anyone. He's just been abrasive.
Yes, that is true.
So, while you're out taking a slash, is there anything else you want to do?
Okay. So to put it plainly, right? I'm trying to like goad them into jumping me in the bathroom so I can dunk them in the toilet.
Roll a performance check to look vulnerable.
With advantage, because I'm kind of like
I'll
I've
give
been
you
trying to set-
advantage if you like leave without like your weapons and stuff, or like leave with like just like a knife in your boot, but none of your like very obvious
Pants
weapons.
down.
Like if you legitimately make yourself super vulnerable, I will give you advantage.
Yeah, no. What I was saying is like I've been trying to set up like, oh, they know that we know that they know a thing this entire time. Like, oh, they're clearly aware we're following them, like on the ninja side, whatever. But like they don't know that we're scrying on them, so we've heard them plotting and shit like that.
Okay.
You're giving me a look.
I'm
But yeah,
processing.
no, I'll go in there with a knife.
Okay. With advantage, you know, roll for being a damsel.
16.
Can I just have a D100 just on the side?
Ah, fuck it, middle of the road.
Okay.
It's almost nice.
No, I want a 90 something.
Another 95.
Or like a 1.
Exact.
Okay. So, Murder, we'll get back to you in a moment.
Oh no.
While Murder's, you know, taking care of business, what are the rest of you doing?
I am trying to talk to this guy and figure out what's so
Uh,
special about him.
So, like Selwyn, you know, he took a rest.
Oh, never mind.
You can wake him if you want.
No. No.
You know, justice waits for no man.
I'm not abrasive like Mark. I'm abrasive in other ways.
Oh, that's fair. Carl,
Uh,
well, like, you guys have the house to yourselves. You know, you've got two sleeping people. You know, Mark's not here. It's a perfect opportunity for shenanigans.
Yeah, because no, Mark's the responsible factor in that.
No.
equation.
He's the one that takes it too far. Like, you know, like people are having pillow fights. He's the one who puts rocks in the pillow.
No, it just brings rocks into the equation. Like, there's no pillowcase there.
Like,
Just brings a
you
rock.
know, like people, like, you know, hand in warm bowl of water. Mark's the shave the eyebrows off.
Yeah, no, Mark's the bring a gun to a pillow fight kind of guy.
Yeah. You know, if you draw on the toddler first, it can't beat you.
Makes perfect sense.
But yeah, so if there's something you guys want to do specifically, we can just move back to Mark the Slasher.
I have to ask this because I'm a dumb American. Slasher is like
Slash is specifically slang for, you know, taking away.
taking a piss.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So, in the context of this joke, a slasher would be someone who urinates a lot. Which, because you guys are hunting a serial killer, it seemed appropriate to make the joke.
Got it.
Yeah. There are cultural layers, I guess. But anyway, you guys are fine?
Mm-hmm.
I will ask Callista how Pip is doing.
Oh, he's so mad. Oh god. I'll not be asking him to do anything but look at invisible things and smell for a while now.
In the foreground, you guys see the turkey carcass moving.
Pip, you're going to get filthy.
Like, looking at it, you just see the cat tail hanging out of the carcass.
God.
As it gets dark, I will summon Torley as well, just for extra eyes.
I don't want to play dice while we wait.
I
Got all
always
night.
lose at that.
Oh, even better.
I won't play for money.
That works. Pass the time.
Sure, I do request that we keep someone on watch, but
I will go first.
conveniently gets out of losing at dice. I see how it is.
Can I have a perception check, Murder?
Always, friend.
Thanks, pal.
Is it nighttime yet? Or are we still in the day?
It's relative. It's not time.
Okay,
it's
because
gonna
once
be a
I
little-
finish my short rest, I'll get into position and just.
So
stealth.
I'll get back to you on that
Sure.
short rest in 1 second.
Eh,
No.
Oh yikes!
I don't see anything probably.
So, Murder,
Yep.
as
I'm
your
over there, over the bowl, just whistling to myself.
You know, actually, we'll take care of Emmy's role first. Hi, Emmy.
Hey.
As
what's up?
someone's having a little power nap, relaxing a little bit, could you describe what is Emmy what Selwyn's likely dreaming about?
Well, it's just the regular, a lot of nightmare. He tends to return back to his army days quite a bit.
So
Um,
more Vietnam flashback, less Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, Yeah.
Cool. So you're enjoying your Vietnam flashbacks. You do find yourself kind of like violently awoken, like you just have a pounding headache.
Yeah.
To the point that mark 12 hit points off.
Ah, jeez. That was not restful at all.
No.
Uh-oh.
I have to do math real quick.
Uh-oh,
Okay.
question mark.
Yikes.
Would you like to do anything, or would you like to just to lay back down?
I'm not paid to deal with a
Wake
lot of
up with-
things, but especially not this.
I wake up with a start, probably, if I took that much damage.
You
from
you
it.
took 3 people worth
Yeah.
of hit points.
And like, wait. Oh no. There are 3 people who are dead.
Oh, that was not as restful as I was hoping.
Are you alright?
No.
What happened?
No, it's Snippy.
No!
I'm really not.
You have a nightmare?
My head hurts. A lot.
Did it feel perchance like psychic damage?
I don't know what that feels like, but I'm guessing.
It makes your head hurt a
maybe.
lot until you die.
It wasn't just like a headache or a migraine.
Okay, probably.
Is his nose bleeding?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, a
Bill
little
from
bit.
Stranger Things, is he?
I haven't got around to saying it yet.
I know you don't
so-
consume media.
Okay, I do a little bit, but specifically, I guess I'm waiting for it to be finished or people to stop talking about it, then I'll watch it.
What are we talking about?
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
First season was the only good season.
I hear
said
that
what I said.
about every show ever.
Every Netflix show.
Yeah, they have trouble with the follow through. Anywho, okay. Well, assuming your brain just didn't do that, I'm
You can
going
roll a
to...
medicine check for tumor.
Oh God.
You're fine.
Well, now that
Okay,
I'm up,
well,
I might
next
as
before you
well-
bust out the leeches, I might. Yeah. Okay.
I will say, with a 9, it's like could be an imbalance of the humors. You know, they were legitimately in an explosion earlier today, Kat. They might actually have swelling in their head.
Yeah, I mean, we are still in kind of enemy territory, so I'm going to labor under the assumption that this was in fact enemy action rather than a head injury.
Potentially.
Well, no. Now that I'm up, I might as well go on watch for a bit.
Okay.
Mm.
So,
Um,
No
yes,
one's
Larry?
Whatever you
Sleep.
do, don't watch me. I'm naked.
Oh God.
You're outside.
Mark's the kind to fully strip in the outhouse. Okay.
No pants around his ankles.
So, I will say, Murder, like, minutes are passing. Like, you're
Been
waiting there.
pissing for minutes.
No. You've been standing on the launch pad for minutes, kind of like I'm giving them a moment to kind of get ready, but they're just still not there. Like
Yep.
someone goes to walk in, looks at it, it's like I'll hold it, and then leaves. As like there's just one guy in the middle who's just pants at his ankles standing at the urinal.
Yep.
As you do.
You get all 3 urinals to yourself.
Well, it's the unspoken rule, Murder. No one uses the middle urinal if, like, if there's 3, you use the one on either end, but never the middle.
Yeah, but if you're the first one there, you get all 3 of them, especially if you take your pants off.
You do, but not in a good way, I guess. So, Murdo,
So
I
you're
guess
gonna
my question
stab
is,
me?
how long will you wait there, tackle out whistling?
Like, outside of the people awkwardly shuffling out because I'm in the middle of the fucking bathroom. Do I like hear anything else? Like anyone trying to fucking stab me in the back?
So with your
example?
perception check, the first thing you kind of hear is just like someone walks into the urinal, walks back out, says, "Oh, don't go on there. There's a fucking weirdo standing in the middle without his pants on."
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, "Oh, fuck." And you just hear them walk away.
Why does this keep happening?
Every
Yeah.
day with this.
Let me roll something for you, Murder.
Eh. Ooh. Ooh.
Murder.
Something's gonna happen.
In the far distance, you hear a meaty splat.
The fucking robot.
He's back, my friend.
Off the same fucking building.
I guess I'll pull my pants up and go outside and check.
Yep. One moment. Just need to double down on that, just checking something. Oh yeah. So, like, like you're surprised you could hear it from where you are because there is a bit of distance, but when you get there, like right next to the brown stain on the road, there's a second one.
My friend.
Like, legitimately, there's about like 3 feet between it, like where one stain ends and the next one starts. But one's very dry. Sorry, one's very dry and one's like very fresh.
For the sake of the theatrics, Mark's gonna like look up at the sky again. It's like, maybe tell your friend not to do that anymore. Clearly not working out for him.
You see like a like a rope harness connected to one of the pillars of the bell tower is just there without anyone hanging from it.
Yep.
But you look and you just see where the harness tore.
Maybe keep him away from high places. Clearly not his thing.
So, Murder, would you like to do anything? Would you like, you've already proven to be a strange person. Do you want to have a drink?
Just leave the fucking building.
No,
Like
there's a puddle of blood here. You sound vaguely, evil
Lapping it up.
European. Like, you could be a vampire.
Oh yeah. I just started licking it off the pavement. Yeah. No. I'm not gonna do that.
Would you like to return back to base and tell them that, the jumper strikes again?
Yep.
Okay.
He's casually gonna walk right back.
Mark walks back into the house. He's like trailing bloody footprints.
What happened?
I found the guy that Callisto found.
Oh, is he
Well-
all right?
No, he fell off again.
Good lord. I have to wonder about him in high places.
Maybe it's like a very poorly thought out hobby.
I mean, maybe. I don't know the minds of assassins.
Alright, I'm gonna level with you guys since my idea apparently didn't work out because one of their number can't keep himself from falling over. We're being watched. Like, magically.
Okay.
Hold that thought. I have one question before we get to that. What's in the bell tower? That two
bell?
people have fallen off of it?
Well, potentially the same guy twice.
You don't think that might be important?
I
We
I
can-
think it may be
Is-
important. It also might be just quite tall.
Yeah.
Well, the
Either
fact
of
that they're
which-
trying to go into the bell tower might be important.
No,
Yes.
they're
dramatic
coming,
view
they're
of
coming
the
out of the
city.
bell tower. But yes, it is a place to
Keep
investigate.
discussing your plans. I just need to check on a tap.
It is something to investigate.
But yes, back to the. What do you mean we're being magically watched?
I mean, there's somebody with divining magic watching us. Oh, also, Carl has some. Fuck, what was it?
Abjuration.
Abjuration.
Yeah, no, Carl has some abjuration on him for some reason.
Carl, have you
Huh.
made friends with the caster lately? Not of us.
Beyond that guy who kicked my ass, no.
Oh no,
Okay.
abjuration is a good thing if I remember correctly.
Potentially.
Wizard.
It's like I don't. It can go either way. I think it's like protection or shielding magic for the most part, but you can also cancel out magic and stuff. So I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing.
And even with the most innocuous spells, when cast on the unaware, you can't really assume good intent.
Maybe whoever punched you out left their address on your butt cheek.
Maybe they're doing it to
You,
protect
you want to
Carl.
get back here and look?
Take a peek.
Why is Mark so? I whisper to Callista and Selwyn. Why is Mark so popular?
I think people
Is it
like
the
the
asshole?
abrasive. I think they like the abrasiveness.
It's the chaos. I think it just draws people in.
That is that's a good theory.
I'm like in the same room with all.
We'd love to hear your theories.
I mean,
Or unless-
Fergus, and then now Carl.
I'm a master at employing passive charms.
But only with men, it seems.
People just like you. But all right. The assassins didn't take your bait. There's a
Too
spell on
busy.
Carl.
Well, spell on all of us, 2 spells on Carl.
Yes.
Something hit me.
You were most likely attacked by some sort of psychic damage. I could take
Well,
out my knife
why-
and stab you and see if it feels similar, but I don't think
I'll
that would be
pass.
productive.
No.
Yeah.
Feel free to roll an Arcana check, Cat, to kind of narrow down what could attack someone.
Could I also do
Himself.
Just fucking stabbed himself. Arcana. Oh,
Are you
stinker.
proficient, Murder?
that? No, I just think it'd be funny.
I will let you roll a d20 just to throw a dart at a wall.
Crit. Oh.
You could use your chronal shift.
Oh, I could do that. They've not worked once yet,
Yeah,
but I'm willing to try.
Do you really want to make another Callista in the multiverse file?
Yeah, I want to take her 8. She can have my 9.
Okay.
Ah.
So she can have my
we
9. I'll
jump
have her 12.
over to Universe 12 as Callista is currently doing some tomb diving with her party. She goes to roll a check to kind of jump over the thing. The universe shifts slightly and she just falls down the gap and dies.
It
Now I
happens.
Fucking. Now I know what Callista reminded me of. It's been bothering me. Callista is a walking Rick and Morty bit. That's what it is.
I would
Wish
say
I'd seen the show.
I like a lot of like Rick and Morty makes a lot of time travel jokes, so like really any medium that like plays with a multiversal time travel kind of makes the same kind of like bits.
Actually, Patmore, it's dimension hopping. Thank you.
I said multiverse. That's kind of like you could use like sliders as an example. But essentially, whenever you roll shit count and then re-roll, just remember you've just doomed a different Callista in the multiverse. But also, if you roll poorly, like innately, that's probably because another Callista just fucked you.
Yeah, no, it's cyclical. We all know this. All the Callistas are fine with this. We knew it when we chose our major at Wizard College.
The die has been cast.
So, it's probably Magic Cat. You could cast a Detect Magic and investigate.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right,
Okay.
I'm gonna go check out the tower then.
Do you want to
Give me
break
a
You
mo,
want
I'll
someone-
come with you.
Do you want someone to go with you?
No.
Oh, too bad. I need to investigate that too.
Too bad.
Suck it up.
Hits him with that hard. Too bad.
Okay.
I'll cast Detect Magic for the here, and then we'll go.
Here.
So, you detect what Moto detected earlier. Looking for magic residue on Selwind. They were affected by an illusion spell. Which may sound strange, but by the by for spellcasters, there are illusion spells that deal damage.
Yeah, it's mostly psychic, so
Yeah,
You only
essentially, if
think
anything's
you
a
got
psychic,
stabbed.
technically, no, they were stabbed.
Mind over matter, Selwyn. You can do it.
any like get.
Yes, murder.
Oh no, sorry for interrupting you.
No,
but
no,
I was gonna
no.
ask for like gauge on level maybe of the spell.
I'll let Cat roll investigation.
Investigation. I'm supposedly good at this.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So they say.
Yeah, but we're in Patmore's cursed game, so
Yeah. No.
Now, you
Jesus
can't
fuck.
chromatic
Probably-
surge that. You do get 2 of them.
I do get 2 of them, but I'm going to a
Save
location
it.
that I would enjoy using it more at.
That's true, but it'd be really funny to make Callista 15 fall off that tower.
Yeah, no, you are right, but like Callista 15 lives for the day. Actually, hold on.
Why is it always high stakes rolls? Like what if she's
Callista
just making
15 is probably not going to live through the day, but it's fine.
What if she's just making toast and you take away the good toast roll?
Because you don't
Yeah.
roll for toast. Like, generally, you roll for stakes.
There's low stakes rolls.
Not when I'm involved.
I hate all of you for this dumb joke.
I'm sure it's fine.
So,
It's fine.
so anyway, with a 9,
Yep.
higher than second level.
Bet. Okay, cool. It's definitely a spellcaster, and probably not too shitty a spellcaster.
We're
So,
moving.
anywhere from 3 to 9.
Fuck.
Probably not 9 though.
Could be 9.
Honestly, only the gods know at that point, and that's none of my business as a wizard. So, but I'm
Investigating
surely
is a
fine.
fucking slow process, Murder. You guys are doing investigations fast.
We're getting like just enough information to like legally be able to like register it as progress, but not enough to make any fucking breakthroughs.
Okay,
We're
so
operating.
go ahead.
No, it's okay.
No, you have the floor.
No, I was gonna say we're operating like at the speed of, Fergus, an actual investigator, when we should be operating at adventurer speed, which is
Fast.
it should have been
That's
solved by now.
fine.
Keep in mind,
You know,
adventurers don't normally solve problems, they normally smash problems. And by that I mean it's
and-
like, oh, the Duke's suspicious, we'll raid his house and kill him. Murders him, finds the evidence who's suspicious, cool, we were the good guys.
No, I agree. Let's kill this entire town and just sort them out.
it would be easier.
Okay.
But we can't.
But
I mean,
anyway,
tomorrow we
not?
could stake out at the bell tower. Apparently, people like jumping down from that a lot.
you guys want to?
so,
Yeah.
You guys want to go to the bell tower?
I think I
same
know it
thing,
went
right?
so well last time, but I think we need at least 2 groups. One for bait and one for bell tower. Well, they're not gonna fucking be there now, but you know.
Yeah, but we just
they-
stay here.
Yeah. But they were just there and they could have left shit there because listen, I know Jumper's trying his best, but he feels like a bit negligent if he let his harness get that bad, so I'm hoping he left other things there.
Who do we lose?
Angel.
Oh no.
So it wasn't only me that Discord's screwing with. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But anyway,
You didn't do this on to get back though.
that's true. But anyway, so do you guys want to investigate tonight, or are you guys going to be like, yeah, let's sleep and roll the dice on that one?
We should probably investigate.
Probably should
They
investigate,
just
yeah.
attack us already? Fuck.
Okay.
Hey, think of it this way: we're splitting, so now is the most likely time for them to attack. So.
Should we split up again though? Because it didn't really go well for us last time.
It didn't, but
Bigger groups
do you
this time.
want to bring
It'll be better.
bait? Do you want to bring bait with us? Like, I guess we
Yeah.
could bring bait with. Okay, fine. Bait. We're
Maybe
going on a.
deactivate's on the way.
Oh yeah.
If they're looking for this guy, I guess are we trying to check out the bell tower? Because if we are, then bringing him along is just kind of make it apparent, I guess.
So,
Fair enough.
Kat, you want to go and wake up Bait?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, bait.
Uh,
You alive?
There's no response.
Oh no. Did bait die?
You can roll a medicine check if you like.
I just
He
kick
also
him in
got
the
mine.
spleen.
Spade.
I'll repeat my question. Can I just kick him in the spleen?
Roll, Meadow. You roll your own medicine check.
Fucking dead. Oh well.
Me kicking him in the spleen is considered a form of medical investigation.
In a very brute force sort of way. Hey, Andrew.
I mean, just about right. I got a fucking
It's
8.
like it's like a reflex test, you know? You kick bait, if he responds, he's alive.
So, he doesn't really respond that much. Carl, you know,
God bless Carl.
you have lived in some of the rougher places in society. This guy died in his sleep.
Ah, beans. There goes bait.
Wait, our dude died? I'm sorry, power went out.
Yeah, not a problem.
Oh, you okay? Yeah, no,
bait
they
died.
psychically attacked us and got bait along. Like they hit Selwyn, tried to
Aw,
hit me, and then
man.
killed bait.
Ooh, can I roll another Arcana check? Because now I know it's like a wider area of effect type thing.
You absolutely
Was
can.
it though? Because I was there and I didn't.
Uh,
Well, we
You
were
can- you can-
sleeping in the corner, right?
you can.
Or something.
You were sleeping different place, but you can roll the checks. I
Yeah,
will
'cause,
say,
like-
just as an aside, Bait has been dead for 43 minutes IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
That
guess
more
we'll
hates
go
us.
back to the. Okay, I'll go back to the timestamp then when you eventually post this and make a note of that. But okay, that's better. Isn't there like a thing where you can like creep in on someone's dreams and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna steal your
Die.
toes, die."
Roll an Arcana check. Oh, you did. Okay.
I did.
There is a spell called Dream. It is a 5th level illusion spell. It
I
can
did
be
it.
used
that
for
can be a
various.
combat spell?
It can be. It is a 4-paragraph long spell on what it does, so I understand why no one uses it as a fucking combat spell. Because it is the 4th paragraph that explains that you can kill people with it. Now, Essentially, so you can use it on someone who's sleeping. There's no saving throw if you're just trying to give them a message. And you can even you can slightly nefariously use it just to fuck with people, and they'll still be no save. But if you actually want to harm them, that's where the wisdom save comes in. And on a failure, the target takes 3d6 damage and doesn't gain the benefits of a rest. Which, technically, Selwyn,
Cool.
as an aside, you technically didn't actually heal from your long rest either. Well, your short rest either. So you took damage and failed to use your hit dice.
Wait, but was that then the thing they did on me? Because I wasn't actually resting. I was just kind of like chilling.
I believe the exact word you were using was power nap.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it wasn't a mechanical rest though. Like, he was asleep.
So like any dozing or anything like that, that's applicable.
I'm just ironing out.
So
details, like, if it's
technically speaking, to be sure that someone's resting, like, you can be using the long rest as an example, but any form of unconsciousness, so like closing your eyes for a moment, power napping, whatever, that is considered a rest in the context of the dream
yeah, no,
spell.
all good.
So I cover real world science way of saying it is you don't need to hit REM sleep to technically be affected by the spell.
So, question:
Yeah.
since Cat is or Callista is loosely aware of it, is it a radius thing? Is it a line of sight thing?
This is a minute casting time, and the range is your plane.
So you just need to be aware of the person.
You need to know the
person.
person, and they have to be asleep, resting when you cast a spell.
Well, we found the
So I will say you have to know the person, not know of the person. So if the assassin hadn't met him prior to when you saved him, that would explain why they hadn't used a spell on them previously, because you have to have actually met the person, seen them.
So can they use it on me whenever now?
Potentially, but it is a high level spell slot. They will only get so many attempts at it per duration, and it is kind of like a one and done cast. So if they cast it and it works on the target, that's it for the spell. Or if it fails on the target, that's it for the spell. So they'll have to recast it per target. They can't be oh, I want to hit these 4 people, because there's no multi-target aspect of it. Every target is their own spell slot.
Well, it's a good thing that my mind is an Iron Fortress.
So was that used on me then?
Mm-hmm.
The
It's
same
also
spell?
it's also unlikely to kill leveled players because of its damage, which is 3d6, which is never increased no matter how high of a level the spell is cast at. So it's deadly to a person, not deadly to an adventurer.
And they
Unless
would've
you're
had
sorry, go ahead.
No, so we've met them before then in that case?
This person has met you.
Okay.
You don't.
And
Oh, go
It's
ahead.
super coon.
how do you quantify meeting? Are the people we fought in the alleyways, did they meet us?
Yeah, technically, as long as someone has seen you and we'll say has been within some proximity of you, let's say 100 feet, that's enough to know.
I don't know,
Let me-
Fergus is looking pretty suspicious right now.
Fergus
So does
is in the
this
fucking
mean
room
that-
with you guys. He didn't spend a minute ooming on
It
the
was
ground
a
casting the
fucking-
spell.
It was the fucking wizard that I shot in the ass. That clear. As much as I hate Fergus, it was an unnamed wizard.
Fergus,
That was
So-
a joke. for your
oh, sorry.
benefit,
Okay,
Mark.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a joke. But Fergus could technically be still a double agent, but specifically in this instance, he's cleared for the casting of spell. Ironically, on you specifically, Mark isn't, because when it affected you, he was taking a slash. Or was he?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, right.
Okay, so
So does this mean that the guy had to see you guys to cast a spell?
So they don't have
No.
to see you when it's cast. They have to have seen you at some point.
Okay.
So it's like Scry. You can do it from any distance away. You just have to know the target.
Gotcha.
Well, that's annoying.
It is. It's a
is.
fucking bullshit spell that I'm surprised I haven't seen more often.
I used
Now-
it quite a bit in a different campaign. It's a very fun spell.
I think
As
they made it so long to deter people from using it.
Oh, I convinced a guy that his god was talking to him and got him to meet, like, go to a certain place, and then we killed him. So it's pretty great.
Solid.
Pam,
It-
real quick.
yes, Matt.
Just like a picture of this dude with a description wouldn't work for the spell, right?
No. Like to target, the caster has to specifically have met the person. Again, the criteria will be like staying there within 100 feet, and I'd say that's a minimum. But generally speaking, like spending some time interacting or just watching the individual would be enough.
I still think it's just these three, though.
Well, like
Even
you know, you fought someone who had the shatter spell. Like if they had a 5th level spell slot, like anyone who can cast shatter can cast dream as well, because dream is available to wizards, warlocks, druids, and bards.
yeah, no, like that's what I mean. I think it's the dude that keeps falling off places, the dude that beat Carl up, and the magical person.
Like you think
Because-
that's their entire unit.
Yeah, because I think they do a fair amount of traveling around, but conceivably they can just like kill people they've met or suspected before from any place in their like zone of operation now with this spell.
So keep in mind,
So
this spell has we'll call it a power limit. It can't kill people who are like relatively strong. Like its maximum damage is 18, which means that really anyone of about level 3 or higher is leveled past the level in which this is a potentially fatal spell. There are asterisks to this. Like, for example, if you have a fight with someone, wound them, they go to long rest, you can cast this on them, they're already wounded when they're sleeping, it might kill them that way. But generally speaking, using this on its own, it's only going to kill very low-level, levelless entities.
oh, I know, but it's like it kind of accounts for like people dropping dead like in the middle of the street, like the eyewitness
Yep.
accounts that we had. It accounts
Yeah.
for that.
Is it a saver suck?
Yeah,
Like-
it's savored.
Oh, yeah, it's save or nothing.
Okay.
Or, it's like save and nothing, or failure and all the damage, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah, no, I think it is just like whatever like gang wars going on here. I think these three are just the only three operatives that are representing the other side.
Fair. They're effective enough to not particularly need the backup, even if Stilts over there can't stay on the tower. So
He can still like he'll get this through like his wizard friend, us just shit talking him.
listen, if they didn't want to hear the shit talk, they shouldn't have scried, mind your business. That's all I've got to say about it. But yeah, I do agree that this is probably a 3-man unit. Or
because
like
it's like
3 and a ringleader not doing the work. As all managers do.
just a general thing. It is like within most of these, it's like a day's travel within like the operating area we have here.
Generally,
could
this
just
would be the
travel-
furthest, but yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they could also travel around, but they have like quite the tool in their hands, just like axe people.
Yeah, like the main weakness of using this as a long-range assassin tool is that you have to make the target first. So you can't be sitting in your office and just killing, names on a list.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. That's
Yeah.
why they travel. Like go to their place of work, buy something, and maybe they're following like a more important, like more competent member somewhere else, and they shank them in an alleyway while they also cast Dream on like in their downtime to kill the less important member.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
So that would mean that most of these deaths are. Is this a discussion we're having in character?
Yeah, but
Yes.
accents are hard
Okay.
when we're
I
dissecting stuff.
ramble and I have to remind myself to go
So,
into character, but
the
roughly
answer is
yes.
largely yes, but however, every now and again, the voice of God enters ahead to clarify a rule on a mechanic. But yes, this is.
Okay. So Nyx would pipe up. That means that we need to figure out who the actual targets are because they're sprinkled in with the distractions.
Hmm. Are we?
I would
are we
say that the
saying that,
guildmaster is probably one of them who was actually a target.
like, I mostly agree, but the amount of work they put into killing Not Dave feels like he would be a larger target. And he was just not Dave. I
I
don't know
mean,
if there's anything special about him. But he's dead now, so
well, he was a adulterer. He pissed off a lot of people.
that's a knife in an alleyway. That's not hiring
it?
an elite. Yeah, it's hiring an elite band of not hiring an elite band of wizard rogue assassins, serial killers to take care
Even
of the guy that slept with my wife. Like,
It would depend on whose wife he slept with.
okay,
We didn't get a list.
No, but this is multiple people dying the same
Yeah, no,
way, right?
even if
All of
it
which have the
was-
safe in common. So even if he was, is for him sleeping with someone's wife, it doesn't make sense that all these other people are dying as well.
yeah, the MO
Would
is
they
too
be
similar
assassins rather than serial killers? Like actually
I
assassins?
think at this point it's assassins.
it'd
Like
be
I
shitty
don't.
assassins though, because assassins like the whole point is to be like not linked to others. Like if you're like, oh, I'm the new assassins guild on the block, I'm so subtle that the entirety of the county knows I'm here. I wouldn't hire them
Well,
as a personal
But
preference.
that's how you like sow fear, though, right? Because the thing is, with these people dying, we don't see the connection because we don't know what's going on. But the people that do know what's going on and are like the targets, the victims, right? They all have the safes and commons. They're probably scared shitless. So, um, I am more inclined to believe it's like an assassination, just with all the other details we've gotten so far.
it is an assassin. I don't. Sorry, they are individual assassinations. Like I'm of that mind too. It's just
Mhm.
this isn't like what's the best word to put, what's the best the
Uh,
people.
Just
Sorry?
throwing a framing for it out there, if this helps. It's a bit like an equivalent you could use as like the mafia leaving a white rose at a shooting. So it like doesn't necessarily like doesn't in the eyes of the law connect someone like the organization to a crime, but in the underworld it does let everyone know exactly who did what.
Oh yeah, no, like that. But also, it's I don't think the people doing this are a for-profit organization,
Not being hired out. It's like an inner organization thing.
or even like I don't know how to put this. Like a crime family in the traditional sense, because while they're obviously like doing crime, they're killing people. The goal seems to begin and end at like, you know, killing these specific people that like at hook fucking jelly up to their safes to explode or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody's like pushing in on this doesn't have like the trademarks of people like pushing in on like business or whatever. Like they're taking over a trade.
We still need to find another safe.
Yeah.
We need to look at the houses that we possibly could investigate.
I hate to say it, but at this point, if we want to look for another safe, it's go into somebody's house, take a look. You might have to just wait for another body.
Like I don't think these guys, the guys being hunted, had like a personal fucking contractor or safe guy. honestly, I just think it's like a standard safe that they just put in their wall secretly. Like I don't think
Well,
there's paperwork for that.
it depends on the craftsmanship, right? Because at least what I'm noticing is that each of them have their rig specifically to have that same kind of explosion go off and that same bomb. It would also help to get in their safe that we don't detonate because we could find more contents in it that might help with the translation of whatever book is inside it. Because I'm assuming that book might also have been in the other safes that we just obliterated.
Like
So,
so we
There's
need-
all
just adding a little bit to what Amy was saying. So Murder can be right that like they might not necessarily be buying their safe at like Thieves Guilds or us, but so far all the safes have been of the same model, which is probably done so that the method that's modified to make it trapped in the same way, it can be universally applied to kind of like each branch of this group. So if you can determine the make and model, you could then gain a list of people who have purchased that make and model during like a certain time period, and then you could start crossing names off that list. Like not everyone on the list would necessarily be of the, you know, sinister whatever, but if a group is buying a specific model because they can modify it in specific ways, the other names in the area may be on that list.
Okay, see, what I wasn't getting is how that leads us to other like people with those say it. It's cool on the
Yeah,
same page
cool.
now.
I will say just adding a few more threads that you guys can look into. Keep in mind, I don't know if Murder has access to any of them yet as a ranger, but Nyx has some surveillance spellcasting through like Animal Spy, and I believe there's another one. But like the party does have access to some long range spells that you can use to like survey areas. Technically, Cat also has a similar thread she can pull with her cat because it can fly and essentially work as like a mobile like a drone. So depending on what you want to do, there are a different character resources you can pull on that haven't yet been used in this investigation. There's also just on the and I don't know again about you, Murder, but like for example, like Nyx can speak of animals, which not only people hang out in bell towers.
Yeah, I can.
Speak to the
Technically, I
pigeons.
could.
So
Okay.
it's food for thought. Like none of them are necessarily the path to victory, but they are potentially paths to like paths worth exploring in generally in a general investigation.
See, what I think loosely here, the fact this dude fell off of the bell tower twice, I don't think there's anything necessarily in the bell tower or around the bell tower. I just think they have like sort of like well-worn like paths through the city. And I think like if we manage to like hook into one, we can trace it back to whatever they're using as a safe house here. Because they have to have one.
I will say, just food for thought, from we'll call it a counter Overwatch perspective. If you know that someone is likely watching the city from a high vantage point, the best place to watch them is from the like second highest vantage point. So it might be worth leaving someone or a familiar like Pip in the next highest place just to survey the bell tower or other areas like that to essentially find your target when they were looking for someone else and then try to follow that target back to home.
Sounds like a solid plan.
I guess okay. Let's to like take a few steps back on a different thing. We're essentially trying to uncover two super secret organizations here, the one being hunted and the one doing the hunting.
Yep.
let's say we follow, like, we actually end up with the safe lead. We actually find like one of them, like, alive, hopefully. Where do we go from there?
The
Because they have weird conditioning mind shit where they just like appear as laymen. If
Is there?
sorry,
No, you go for it.
like, questioning them, torturing them wouldn't give us anything, right? Because we can't forcibly flip that switch and actually get whatever information is needed out of them or whatever.
Keep in mind
Could-
that. Sorry, 1 second, Amy. If someone is like a traditional sleeper agent, again, think like noir storytelling, a detect fort spell is capable of like using its second feature, which is like the like digging deep in someone's mind. You'd be able to find information there.
I guess anyone here have detect thoughts then?
I don't think so.
I want to say druids get it, but I'm not sure.
No, they don't.
That's interesting.
I was just gonna recommend that
Wait, you have
to help with that we find a caster or some kind of wizard that could help
Bard,
us.
sorcerer,
break through.
wizard.
Because
Why did you have to detect thoughts then?
Who?
More. Never mind. It's a different campaign.
There's a feat for it as well, so if they have that
Mhm.
feat, they can cast it.
Oh, is that why you have that? Okay.
I just want to clarify. Which character you're referring to?
Lawrence.
Oh yeah, no, he had the telepath feat.
Okay.
it's bard, sorcerers, and wizards that get it.
I don't have it.
Yeah, no, I figured.
So technically, you could send Kat to the library with some money and see if she can find a
That's
spell
true.
somewhere. Alternatively, you guys, could just look around to see if there's any other spellcasts in the city. You guys haven't really looked into that.
It's true. Let's see if we've got colleagues. My hopes aren't high, but it's worth checking.
I mean, we'll need them anyway, because, like, we need someone with an actually high intelligence and potentially the ability to cast comprehend languages to decipher their code language that they write in Dwarvish for some reason. Or an array of languages they might switch.
Keep in mind that while Dwarvish is not like super uncommon, it is uncommon enough that just writing in its characters adds a level of kind of like buffering.
Yeah, but like with comprehend languages, you get like, you intuitively get it. Like, you don't get the literal meaning, you just get what they were like trying to convey with that. And then they can use their like intelligence modifier, which is probably high because there would be a wizard like this mystical NPC to decipher the actual code speak.
Okay. Okay, I understand what you mean. Yeah. So like technically, comprehend languages, you can it doesn't decode encryptions, but it can be used to understand the language in which if the smart person is doing it, they can then manually decode.
Like the nuance of the language, right? Like if you were a native speaker, reader, whatever.
Yeah, cool. I understand. So it seems that we have like 5 different threads we can pull. Which, Kat, when you have a moment, could you just make a note in Age of American Steel and just add, like different threads the party can kind of pull on, like just ideas. So like during the week, if anyone thinks of another one, they can kind of add it to the list.
Yes. In just a moment, I'm covered in paint.
Why are you covered in paint, Kat?
I had an oops.
You had an oops.
Yeah, I
I'm
stuck
blaming
my.
Fergus for this.
I was reaching for my paint.
Why are you blaming Fergus for this?
It's his fault.
Is it?
Why
I'm
doesn't he
significantly
speak
less
Dwarvish?
covered in paint now. Oh, never mind. Oh well.
Because the DM didn't want to make it too easy for us.
I'm
Fergus is
sorry.
the-
Expand on that for me for a moment.
Fergus has done fucking nothing this
Okay, so
entire time.
I will say, specifically on the thread of some of the magic stuff, he's a little bit incompatible with it on the merit that he's not the one rogue subclass that gets access to magic. So he does not have at all an innate understanding of magic. He has no proficiency in arcana. Magic is magic is magic, as far as he's concerned. On the mundane front, like, he can definitely look into the like safe sales and essentially the model and kind of like try to narrow it down further than that. Like, he can do a lot of the grunt work, but he when it comes to specifically magic, he can't help you with that.
And
He
he's
can.
a detective, right?
Sorry.
His job, it's being like a detective equivalent in like a medieval society.
Yeah, he's a flatfoot. He walks around, he asks questions, he looks into things, but like, if he was working in his own territory, he would approach a person who's working with the government who knows magic, and he would essentially forward the questions there, like the IT department of the era.
Wish we had one of those.
I can talk to my ghosts and see if I can figure it out, but they haven't been historically that helpful.
And
That
what's
is-
your? Can you get like languages from your ghost?
I can't. I can only get tools and
Okay.
skills.
Would. Okay, let's say we put like Selwyn and the dwarfsmith together in a room, right? Would the dwarfsmith just kind of like reading the gibberish code speak in Dwarven and trying to like convey it to like Selwyn be enough to like warrant a like forgery kit roll to like decode it?
Because of a class proficiency, I think they can bypass the decoding roll.
Selwyn can?
Yeah. If it's translated, I think Selwyn will understand what it means. Purely because as much as it doesn't come up, they have rogues get a class ability for doublespeak.
Hell yeah, we do.
And
All right.
in some ways, this, won't translate literally anything, but with the context of this matter specifically, and the groups we're dealing with, I'd say that Thieves' Cant would be applicable here.
All right. We've made it to the fucking starting line where it.
No, you made it to step 2.
Well, the reason I say starting line is because whole journal still falls into like concrete evidence, which we've been desperately after this entire time. It's just not been happening. All right. Like, there's a game plan here. At least we're not lost.
Yeah. Again, you guys
Yeah.
have like 5 or 6 threads you guys can pull now. Essentially, what was the bait in this context? You guys were not mistaken to get bait, because under most circumstances, dealing with 99% of factions, there would be a front door approach. If you're guarding the suspect, they have to get through you to the suspect. Unfortunately, in this specific circumstance, they had a back door. But just the fact that they used the back door, you guys have progressed to the investigation. Because,
Yeah.
Dream is a 5th level spell. It means that whoever cast it has to be an equivalent of level 9 or higher. As off the top of my head, I don't think there are any items that can duplicate the Dream effect. So, whatever they are, they showed their hands, essentially, in a way that if you guys didn't take the bait, they wouldn't have had to necessarily.
Like a big fucking deal to be dealing with people like bait.
But also now that you
Like-
don't have Bait, and you gained all the information you could probably get from him, you guys are now free to essentially reach out on any thread and try to pull.
Mm.
This is kind of what I mean by like I think their business ends and begins at like hunting down people like bait and killing them. Because that's a level 9 wizard minimum. Right?
Or
Bard.
a sorcerer, warlock, or bard. But yeah.
High level caster.
Bard would be interesting because they're also working with a monk of some kind.
Yeah, you guys have identified one of the classes, because in D&D there is only one class that gains unarmed attacks.
And Stunning Strike.
Stunning Strike, that is correct. The other two are still nebulous. Mister, I keep throwing myself out of a tower. Could be fucking any
I'm-
class, really, outside of probably a spell, like a full caster, because I'd probably be, like, soup on the pavement if they were a full caster.
I'm gonna go with it's probably a rogue because evasion of some kind.
I will
Watch the
say,
ground.
evasion doesn't help against the ground. You don't get a save when you
It
fall.
doesn't?
Nope. D&D
It's
has
flat.
no
It's a splat.
fall
It's a
reducing
splat.
saving throw.
I just think he took that on the chin. but,
Yeah.
It could also be a monk because monks do reduce fall damage.
I will say, I will mark Monk off for them. There was no slow fall on that character.
Yeah, no, their face was embedded in.
Barbarian.
That-
Rage.
Barbarians, ironically, can be a stealth build. They don't wear armor, and they can that dexterity is an important stat for them, and they can take stealth as a proficiency.
Stealth
I'm
barbarian.
gonna still say rogue by like one tapping Callista, by virtue of that.
And that could have been ranger too.
Like it was range. I just think he huddled behind a corner and shot you in the forehead while you were
Technically,
chasing him.
just raw minutia. They were slightly ahead of you. They spent the turn that you moved on to ready in action to attack.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
But
I'll
Getting rid
say
of
that
them.
marks rogue actually off the list, because if they were rogue, they'd have sneak attack.
Yeah, and there was no sneak attack in those rolls.
yeah, I'm placing my
Wait.
bet on ranger.
So and
Or an
and
arcane archer, maybe.
Or an
arcane
arcane archer.
So and then on the spellcaster, they have dream and shatter.
And
It's
the
a
mystery
bard.
spell
It's
that,
gotta
like,
be a bard.
And silence, right? If it's the same person.
No, the silence is where you two were, not where the full caster was.
Oh, so we got someone that can also cast silence.
Okay. Not to
And a
spoil the
raccoon.
surprise
Can't forget
here.
the raccoon.
Yeah.
I'm looking up something really quick because I think it might be a bard.
There was also
Yeah.
like mystery
I'm pretty
spell.
sure it's a bard.
Man,
Bard.
imagine
It
getting
could be a
fucking
bard or a wizard.
slapped. Imagine getting slapped by a bard. That's so embarrassing.
I will say, really interestingly, a bard, a sorcerer, and a warlock are the four classes that can cast both shatter and dream.
Well, and there's another spell that I think you might be using called Psychic Lance.
Potentially.
Which is bard, sorcerer, warlock, wizard too.
Mm-hmm. There are four
So-
classes that can do all of the cool kind of spells that are being used.
There
I don't
was
know.
also,
I
like-
just,
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking out loud. Like there was also the mystery spell that like dropped bait initially and made him convulse on the floor.
Yep.
which is what I think is Psychic Lance. Although Psychic Lance probably would have just nuked him into oblivion.
Yeah. Psychic
Yeah,
Lance
the
isn't a
one-
concentration spell, was it?
Yeah, the
No.
one they had going had to simmer for a bit before it microwaved.
So Psychic
Mixed.
Lance is an intelligence saving throw, and if you fail, it's 76, and if you succeed, it's half.
Why not Phantasmal Killer? That's
It
a
could be
pretty
Phantasmal
known
Killer.
one.
Could also
But
be
also, I-
Phantasmal
like,
Force.
I don't- It's true. Phantasmal Force is the best.
coincidentally, I think again all of these spells have the same 4 casting classes.
Phantasmal Killer
Yeah.
is Bard and Wizard.
But would we know like the exact nature of the spells being cast if we can't see them or we had an experience? Like we're passing this around as players. I don't know. If
I
we
will
would
say
know
to
this
some
in
like
character, right?
more recently, like the last bit of the conversation has been more on the meta. In universe, it's still pretty open, but in the meta itself, if they used Phantasmal Force, that narrows Warlock off the list. And if they used Phantasmal Killer, that knocks Warlock and Sorcerer off the list. It just depends which one they used, because there was no proper caster present at the time. It couldn't have been identified.
I think we have a wizard or a bard on our hands. I'm gonna be real.
I'm putting my
Fergus,
bets
what a
on
goddamn
Bard,
bard,
Ranger,
get
Monk.
away from him.
Bard, Ranger, Monk. Okay, actually,
That's my bet.
everyone in Age of Magic and Steel, write the 3 classes you think present. Whoever is the most right, I will give some sort of reward to once it's actually known.
I'm still fucking befuddled by the rogue thing. Like he did like 40 something damage without sneak attack.
Mm-hmm. Remember, it was a crit.
Yeah, but oh wait, no, you said sharpshooter was in there too.
Yep, Sharpshooter was
during
in
the
there.
session.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I forgot that. It's not the wizard is monk, because I'm a dumb.
Don't worry, you're very sleep deprived.
I was actually like sitting there going, "Are we gonna?" And I'm never this way. I'm like, "Are we gonna wrap up soon?"
I
I'm
will
really
say,
tired.
technically speaking, we've been done for 20 minutes. We've just been wrapping up the information because people have been missing sessions and people have been worn out and shit. So we're just collating information right now. Okay. Cool. And Zombie, what's your guess? You know, a lot of people are throwing monk, fighter / ranger, and like wizard / bard down. You know, wild card it. You know, throw down artificer, warlock, and fucking
honestly,
pugilist. Yes, Emmy.
I honestly think it's monk. At least with the encounter that
Yeah,
Carl and
sure.
I had, because there is a monk subclass that can also cast silence. So
There
No,
is.
that was
Rangers can also
100%.
cast silence, so like there's
Yeah.
ways to get it cast within the group.
But in our solo encounter, there was
That's
a
true.
silence, and then Carl
Yeah,
getting eaten up
y'all
by
definitely
fists.
had a monk.
He like teleported behind Carl too through the shadows.
That's a
It
monk
was a
thing.
shadow monk. Just gonna put that one on the table since we're all on the same page. We're just not finding.
I will say the
mechanical
monk
word.
one is pretty locked in because Shadow Monk is the only fucking really like good stealth monk subclass. Like the others aren't bad at it mechanically because they don't wear armor and they're generally dex builds, but they're the only ones that get skills that reinforce stealth. Like they gain pass without trace, they get shadow teleportation, they gain silence, etc.
Yes, zombie with the dark horse barbarian.
Good on you, mate. Yeah, so, that's food for thought. I'll end the recording now and I'll upload it later.